iteration of the push, and then I also made every one of Thomas's students go onto YouTube while I was in his class. And I was like, you should follow us. This is how you get involved.
Nice.
But no, I mean, there were a lot of people involved in that effort, so.
It was mostly you.
No, it wasn't.
Take credit.
Nope, I will not, because Dave did stuff, and Brian did stuff, and Eric did stuff, and David did stuff, and I'm sure you did stuff, but I didn't see it.
I subscribed.
There we go.
Are you live right now?
Yeah.
Howdy! Hi, everybody!
I was just doing the chit chat before.
Yeah,
now.
Are
that's
we
perfect.
live?
Chit chat.
Are we?
There we go.
If you are not yet
Don't-
subscribed,
No, I don't think we're live.
Why not?
I have a clip of us being live, and then it ends.
I mean, it says that.
Oh, it's on video now. What the fuck? You stupid.
Hi, if you are joining
There we
in
go.
for the
Okay,
first
we're
time,
fine. We're fine.
you should subscribe to Serious Play on YouTube so that,
Yep.
I don't know, you can follow our content there. Because if we're not live on Twitch, you can go through our backlog on YouTube.
Yep. Over 150 hours of Dungeons and Dragons alone.
Fuck yeah.
Yep.
We have so much content on there and so much character development. Like,
Too much.
You think Critical Role is good?
just you
Christ.
wait.
So,
Ever seen a traumatized little boy and
got some new dice for Willow. So
Yep.
there you go.
Yay!
Beautiful.
It's so pretty.
I'm so excited. I hope they roll better for you.
Yeah. I
am-
actually, after last night, I'm thinking about getting new dice for Anushka because I did 12 rolls and 10 of which were under
As
10.
long as they're not metal, yay.
Yeah.
I even
know.
though I know the mat is in between the wood and the thing,
I
when you're
know.
rolling the metal dice on the
Yeah.
mat, I
I
cringe
know,
like every
I know,
time.
I know. I try and roll softly.
You're not
I
rolling
know.
aggressively or anything, but I'm just saying like I wanted
know.
it in a thing so bad, a
I
tray.
know. Well, I'm waiting on my tray. The person making it's in Guatemala right now. But anyway, I say that as if he doesn't live there. He's on vacation. But anyway.
I was just saying, I'm like, what's so special with this Guatemalan
No.
tray?
Nope. He's from Milwaukee, just currently in a different country.
Bobby.
Bobby.
And Bobby. Yeah.
Yep. Anyway, I'm Kelly Breivik, and I'm the Dungeon Master.
Leia Leaveseller, PhD candidate. Anthropology, playing Talia. Or Tali. Cleric. Only
Yep.
cleric. None of this fucking mix and level shit anymore, which is great.
Remember 4th edition's half classes or whatever they were called?
No, I
Hybrid
never played
classes?
4th edition. 4th edition doesn't exist. It is 3.5, Pathfinder First Ed, and then 5th edition.
What about AD&D?
Well, yeah, but that came first. I wasn't going all the way back. We also got 2nd Ed and AD&D and the original box. And we can keep on keeping on.
Yep.
I'm Air Bear, and I took no damage so far this entire campaign.
I want to change that.
two sessions in, only monk things. Being
Yeah.
a melee fighter that somehow doesn't take damage.
Yep. Let's get a recap of last week.
Corey didn't say hello.
Hi.
Oh, sorry.
My name is Corey
No.
Hearn. I'm a PhD student here at UWM in the English department. I'm Plan C for Plan Creative Writing. Let's go poetry. I am playing Taratha, the Div Whiz.
So what happened last week?
I actually don't remember.
We had fun.
I got eaten by a worm. 2
Oh.
worms. I got
Yeah.
eaten by 2 worms.
Yep. That you did.
And then we
That was
killed
fun
those
for me.
worms. We got to do some cool monk stuff, but mostly what you need to know is that we were initially hired on a job to go help a pal with a magic item, and then that was not registered with the authorities, and then there was some bad stuff that happened around that magic item, and it has been confiscated, and we want it back / want to clear our name of taxes or something. And so now we're going to go punch some ghosts in the middle of the desert. That's pretty much what happened, and then some worms attacked us on the way, but they are dead.
Yeah, we found out this utopia has corrupt politicians.
That we're
That's not my
intended to be.
intent.
And yet, that is what
I
happened.
don't think Utopia wants to be a dystopia, and yet,
I want to die now.
I mean, did you read Brave New World?
No,
You should.
I
It's
don't
actually
want
a good
to.
book.
Yeah.
I don't want to now.
There's a lot of
out of pure stubbornness.
What happens when what's it called? Self-flagellation when you whip yourself.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that. A lot of sex and self-flagellation, not at the same time.
That
I mean, some people like to do those things
Implied
at the same time.
none of that is
Um,
anything that I want.
But there's
It's
actually
like-
not a lot. It's not like it's never described really.
Can you pass
in
me
Brave
that?
New
No,
World
it's
for
just
the
a
most part.
sexier Brave New
What?
World.
What?
That-
Wait, what
yeah,
is the sexier
thanks.
Brave New World?
Sorry, a sexier 1984.
I think.
That's no, not not a fan.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
I don't like 1984 either.
Well, no. They're very
1984 has
different.
Samwise Gamgee in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1984 is like a dystopia that's like
Yeah.
totalitarian. Brave New World is dystopia that's based on pleasure. So
Mhm.
it's like people like if you think like in a book like 1984, books are burned because people are afraid of them. Are like the
Yeah.
authorities are afraid of them being read. In Brave New World, the idea is books aren't read because who would read a book?
Yeah.
Like when you can do all these other things.
Unless you're special.
Yeah, that all sounds awful to me.
Well, then it's basically Logan's Run,
Yeah. I would
It's-
agree with that.
it's
but without
sad.
the running.
Yeah.
So, you are freshly prestidigitationed from worm guts.
Yep.
And
Yes, that
acid.
happened.
Cactus Man pieced out. And you still got about half a day's left to travel before the sun starts setting.
It looks like we better start doing our half a day's worth of travel then.
Let's go.
All right. Can I get a perception check and a survival check?
I can do.
I'll do a perception.
I'll do survival.
Oh wait, I should roll the willow dice.
21.
Okay.
All right, so that's a natural 2, so that's 10.
All right. So at one point during the day, you break out some like rations to eat, and a vulture just swoops down and like pulls it right out of your
That's
hands.
not what vultures eat.
That's what they eat here.
Oh, there's something wrong with these vultures. They wouldn't,
Yeah, can
they
we
go
make a
for
perception check on
carcasses,
the- are
right?
they, like-
They don't go for like the hard tack that I brought with.
I'm doing an Arcana check. I rolled 15.
They are not arcane. They just mistook the rations for a dead mouse.
I'm gonna shoot it
anyway.
with my pistol.
Fine, go ahead. Do an attack roll on these vultures.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Something ain't right here. So I pull out a pistol. That'll be a 17 to hit.
That'll hit.
I appreciate you doing that in character despite above table knowledge.
Yep.
Ah.
You're keeping them on the right track.
Yeah. I take Tali's arm and I twist it like
so,
a rag.
so that'll be
kidding.
13 damage as I
You one-shot the vulture.
one shot the vulture, and then I go pick up my food, and then I'll kick it, or like not like kick it like angry, but like
Yeah.
put my
Double
foot up,
tap?
and, flick it with my foot to see like the metal one if
Okay.
it's like still alive. Like, is it magic? What's going on here?
Do an Arcana check.
Is it under the control? Is it perhaps the pet of some ranger out in these desert parts?
It's not a familiar, I can tell you that.
What did you ask me to do?
Arcana.
That would be a 7. So far, this dice hasn't rolled above 10.
Yeah, you're not quite sure,
it's
but
waiting
it's
for its
definitely a
moment to
vulture.
Is Mordenkainen like
definitely a
watching
vulture.
us or something?
Does it have any marks or anything on it that's like, that show that like maybe it's owned by someone, or like a tag?
Yeah, DNR tag at all?
No. No tags, no nothing. Just a vulture with a gunshot wound.
All right, I'll reload my gun, and then it can hold 5 shots. So yeah, I do whatever is required to get it back to 5.
Yeah.
And I have 2 pistols for your guys' information, one on each hip. So I can dual wield them, which accomplishes absolutely nothing.
It's like we're in an FPS. At the moment you shoot one shot, you have to reload.
Yeah. I know that feel. Or you throw which one's the Overwatch dude that throws the guns and pops them back?
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's Reaper, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But no, mine I have 5 shots in each. So in theory, in any given combat, I can shoot 10 shots before I have to reload.
How long does reloading take an action?
Yep.
Yeah, I assume the reloading 1 bullet takes an action, and I have to reload all 5. Or maybe for you, it's all 5 is 1 action.
Yeah, I'm just doing it like longbow things,
Okay.
like longbow rolls, and then you would just have to reload one action to reload all of them once they're all expent.
But in 1 gun, I assume.
Yeah.
Not both guns.
Correct. But yeah, night settles in the desert. Can I just have a survival check for making camp?
Nope. I'm gonna ritual cast Lehman's tiny hut.
Okay.
It's very nice and cold.
All right. So
What's the inside look like?
It is quite, despite the outward appearance of Taratha as this, noble adjacent woman, it's surprisingly bare.
There's just like grizzlies over in this corner, polar bears in that corner.
Pretty much. It's nice and chilly. It's like a desert igloo.
Well, I suppose in some ways magic makes this kind of travel easier.
Magic's the only way that you can really survive out here.
It's not true at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
I survived a long time out here without magic.
How long were you then this?
You know that.
Well, that's my point. You're a self-hydrating being.
Now.
I'm
Yeah, but I wasn't always.
gonna take out a small piece of wood and my wood carving tools, and I will start whittling.
What are you making?
I imagine that Willow really takes her time with these things, so it wouldn't even be like in one evening she'd be done. Zola reading a book at a desk.
That was more in depth than I anticipated. That must be a huge chunk of wood.
No, it's
Or
like
no,
it's a tip of a pencil shaving.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's small. It's like, she's got to carry this with her the whole way. So
Okay.
I'm imagining that like it's like she gets like she could maybe like do a bad version of this
Yeah.
in like one night, but she's gonna take the whole trip and just work on it every night.
Okay.
While
Sounds
this is
good.
happening, Taratha's gonna pull Tali aside.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine we have like a little planning nook.
So since I rolled survival and got a 21,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna light a fire outside.
Okay.
You can light it inside. Again, it's an igloo. A desert igloo.
Fine.
Keeps it, despite its chilliness, warm. It's a place of oddity.
So what's up?
Have you heard from Saturn recently?
This hut is not big enough for me to not hear
Yeah, I
this.
know.
Right? I'm just double checking. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna
You
interrupt.
know, yeah, you can hear it.
Yeah,
and
like
she
you can
doesn't,
tell that
like-
it's a conversation not meant for you, but you could definitely hear it.
18 passives.
You can
Yeah.
also tell that, like, literally Tully doesn't care. That you
Okay.
can hear her.
All right.
I don't know about Tabitha, or
Taratha.
Taratha.
She's asking, so she doesn't care.
Right. Why?
I mean, often if she points you in a direction, I'm intrigued by it, and we should follow suit on it. So I'm just curious if she's pointing you in any directions recently. We've been kind of aimless in the city, so I'm concerned that I don't know. Saturn's been silent.
Saturn as a woman is an interesting idea. Don't know what he would look like in women's clothes.
I have no idea.
No, that's fine. I'm just
Yeah.
above table, really. Just correcting gender, but that's whatever. Doesn't really matter. He's a god, so who gives a fuck?
Do gods have gender?
Yes, we assign them gender at least. It's true. No. He hasn't given me any hints, clues.
Anyways,
They
this is
didn't
not the conversation.
That's what that's what she answers. Hints, clues, nothing.
What any hints in particular?
That's what I said. None. 0 of them.
How long has he been silent?
I don't know. How long has he been silent, Kelly?
A suspicious amount of time.
I'm sure he's planning something ridiculous.
Okay. Well, let me know. Things have been fuzzy on my end recently. Especially more I've been working with the Alcots. So I think I don't like this silence. It's unnerving for me.
I'm sure it'll be fine. Saturn's a dick.
Yes,
Likes to keep me in suspense.
I am very much aware. I'm not concerned specifically for you. I'm more concerned specifically for me.
I know.
Regardless. Didn't you try to call out Saturn when you were in the worm?
You wouldn't know that.
That's why I'm asking. I have a passive insight of 17.
I know.
I'm-
So
I'm-
I was seeing whether or not I would try to deceive you. That was what that roll was.
I'm so glad
It
I didn't
was-
spit out coffee.
I'm also
so
so
glad I
glad-
didn't spit out coffee.
I'm also so glad about the delay because I saw you, then I looked at the screen, and then I got to see you again.
Yes, but he doesn't always answer.
Well,
Only about 10% of the time.
only about 10% of the time. Yeah,
It's only when I actually die.
And then Tarla is briefly going to imagine performing a death ritual, but then quickly dismiss that thought.
If you try to kill her, she will fight back.
Oh, but clearly. You know, nah, that's just a. Looks like we're forging our own path for a while.
Sure.
I mean, that should be welcome news for you. No?
I mean, that's what I do most of the time.
Until Saturn butts his head in.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad at least one of us is concerned.
You're good at worrying. I'm not.
I know. Anyways, I'm going to hit the hay. Please keep me updated.
Maybe.
Can you roll me a D100?
I'm gonna sending to Zola.
Mm-hmm.
How's it going?
Oh, that's it? Or you got 25 words, so I was just making sure. Is that a 2?
Yep.
That is beautiful.
I don't mean D100. I mean 2.
I love that. We'll work with that.
Yes.
Sorry, just how's it going?
Mm-hmm.
And
Willow's stoic, you know.
I know. Put the book order in today. Excited to learn more about the calamity. Sold lots of stuff. Thinking about having a food stand so people can eat and read. I think it's a good idea.
Alright, I'll upcast sending. Note that Zola can ascend sending twice per day as well.
Yeah.
Because the way we roleplay the feat
Yeah.
thing, right, is that it's a racial
Yeah.
thing. Takes a lot longer to read a book than eat a snack. Well, maybe it's not the worst idea.
And then she'll respond.
I'm not. I have
Okay,
words.
okay. Not so stoic anymore.
Still, I mean, if I only make it to 10 as opposed to 5, that's still. You eating well?
Then that means I'll sell lots of snacks. And yeah, I made eggs.
All right, I'm out of sending.
I know.
So,
That's and then you'll get a sending out of her. And she'll go, did you and that's a did you, so we're gonna get one word out of that one.
Apostrophe. Great.
Contractions.
Yep. Fight anything big today. Got any good stories for me?
don't have the words. We'll tell you when I get back.
Giant worms.
Going to bed. Love you.
And then she'll use her sending. Love you too. Don't respond.
Affirmative.
I love it.
I want to head over to Willow before we retire.
Mm-hmm.
Willow, how are you doing, old friend?
Old friend.
We've known each other for quite a while now.
It's been quite a while. Would the DM phrase it as quite a while?
Like, what's it been, like a year?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, Willow is in almost.
How long have you owned the bookshop?
Willow is almost in her 40s, so so you know, a year is not a long time for her, relatively
A
speaking.
year is nothing to me.
Yeah.
I've owned the bookshop for 13 years.
I imagine I've been in and out of the city the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
So at least I would say 2 to 3.
All right. I won't question the old friend. So, what do you ask? How you doing?
Yeah.
I'm fine.
I think we should talk about how we handle Thurgood when we get back, so we're not butting heads.
Sure.
I mean, I'm not gonna mince words. His incompetence has killed a young girl.
What incompetence?
The lack of any proper security surrounding a dangerous artifact.
That's your definition of incompetence, sure.
Yes, that is exactly my definition. A teenager was able to very easily get in, rather undetected, and steal it. And
DM to player. It wasn't a teenager. It was a trained thief.
trained thief, whatever.
Who sold
The
it to
teenager
the-
bought it.
Yeah.
The trained thief.
Sorry, let me rephrase that.
A trained thief who also has detect magic
Mm-hmm.
and has magical capabilities. Possibly use the knock spell to get there.
Possibly.
But anyways, that's out of character.
Okay, in character. A person with very minor magical abilities was able to enter, and Pashania is an incredibly magical place. The fact that there was a very little protection against what I presume was a knock spell is laughable. It's insane, and the fact that it got in the hands of a teenager. Look, I'm just saying. I don't want to report Thurgood. Obviously, that's not in your interest. But I do.
Well, it's registered under my name, so you'd be reporting me.
Well, I can still report him. I can tell them that, what you ostensibly did was lied. And they could go and search the rest of his, what is it, a store or whatever.
So it's more like a museum.
And I don't want to do that. So I'm suggesting that instead, Thurgood make a show of goodwill to her family, or to, if there is no family left, because I understand very little about the situation, but the mother was dead, to the playhouse. Because they're most likely going to have to go through some sort of renovation or repair after that. And I think that is only fair. A girl is dead. And
I love watching you squirm. When I just don't talk. Continue. Your girl's dead?
yeah, that's it. A girl is dead.
Well.
And I'd rather have this conversation now than later.
And you have evidence that the necklace caused this, and it was nothing else.
I'm fairly sure I can prove that, yes.
Well, once you do, we can talk.
Sorry? I mean, and I pull out my spell book and I gesture. I'm like, can easily identify this.
We don't have it on us.
I can go talk to them. We have witnesses. This is
So
an open
once
and
you-
shut case.
Once you show that the necklace caused the tragedy,
Okay.
then we can figure out arrangements.
Okay.
And I will, let's just say you're right for just a moment.
I'm looking to protect your friend in your interest. I would rather not, because I think they're a fool, but I also don't want to sever our friendship over this. I also think justice needs to be done. And I think this is the best compromise going forward. I think this is, and also fair.
Doesn't really sound very fair to me.
How is it not fair to you? This doesn't impact you. This is between.
No. Doesn't sound fair to my ears.
How so?
Someone steals your spell book. uses a spell from your spell book
Mhm.
somewhere unrelated to you
Mhm.
after it's passed 3 different hands, would you say that that's your fault?
Well, I would be very foolish to lose my spell book, and I would probably be culpable for that, yes. However, there is a difference between a spell book where you would have to be trained enough to not only read this material, but understand it and cast it and have the materials, versus an amulet, or whatever it was, an amulet that could open up willy-nilly. You can't use this spell book without having the proper ability to cast these spells.
And yet within, many dangerous things exist.
And this is something that we very much understand in Pajania.
We also didn't identify the necklace.
Right.
If Thurgood is telling the truth, and it only communicates with the dead, then it couldn't have been the necklace that opened up the portals.
Then what could have?
I don't know. But we don't know.
Right. Well, regardless, the amulet is connected. And
That's a pretty big assumption.
I think it's a very fair assumption.
We can find out when we get back.
Okay.
It's not like we can do anything about it from here anyhow.
Okay, so we identify it and then report Thurgood? Is that our understanding?
No. We identify it and then we have a conversation. Jesus.
Like I said, I'd rather have this conversation now.
You know, there was a time before magic when people still had weapons.
Very much so.
Weapons like these. And I'll pull out my pistol and I'll set it down.
Yeah, and if someone stole your pistol, and to kill someone with it, would you not also be responsible?
I don't think so.
I think so indeed. I mean, you purchased it.
What is the law in the city about this?
About guns or about
Magic. Well, both.
About murdering someone with a weapon. If you stole the weapon,
Yeah.
would you be liable?
Yeah, I don't think that with weapons, no. I think that with magic, there's a lot of debate going on right now, similarly to how, like I know that, like, in New York, you have to have the gun and ammo stored separately.
Yep.
Right.
So, like,
And I suppose it is different, like, too, I imagine it would be different because Thurgood didn't, like, actually, like, he didn't have it registered.
Yep.
And so it not being a registered thing, too, then, like, then you're more culpable. Sorry.
Right.
I just want
Yeah.
to...
That's
No, no.
exactly Taratha's, like, POV.
So
Yeah.
I
But in terms of like the security of it, I don't think that there's an official sort of like. I think if anything, you just have to have a certain license to own certain things above a certain level, and as a person who owns that, who owns what he does, he would have that license. He just did not register it because he was afraid that for some reason he wouldn't be allowed to keep it. And he didn't want to pay the taxes on it.
Negligence.
Right, yeah, but
Yeah.
then it would constitute negligence because
Right.
it wasn't... Okay,
But
sorry.
he didn't break.
I have to
yeah.
say, like, I
No, no.
above table am better when I can, like, voice that, but Talia would not
Yeah.
do
Yeah,
that back and
that's
forth.
totally
So,
So
I
it would
just...
be negligence, but like if it was registered, he was not doing anything illegal.
Yeah.
It was just the lack of registration.
But because he didn't register it, it becomes negligence, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so from Willow's point of view,
Yeah.
as somebody who, is pretty independent, it is absolutely not your problem if somebody steals your thing and does something wrong with it.
Yeah, she is Texan.
So, like that's the perspective of my character right now.
I didn't
that you
mean for
should
this
be.
to turn into an episode on gun laws.
Yeah.
No, but I mean,
No,
like,
it's
it's
fun,
good to know.
though.
Like, it
Yeah.
adds because we have. I don't know, because now we've had that run of the law, and like that might be a part of the game. It's
Yeah.
good to like have a sense of
No, I agree.
what the legal system looks like.
Yeah.
But there's definitely like I
Like, what
will
happens
say,
if we get a magical object and we fail to report it and
yeah, like there's like a 48-hour rule to
Yeah.
report it. Like so you could go once you're in the city limits, you'll have to like claim stuff, and then you have 48 hours to get it in to the people to register it or to have it identified. And there is absolutely talks right now about sort of what protections, what security has to be there if you
Right.
have something over a certain thing, but it's not passed yet.
Right. Okay.
And
so,
look.
given all of that,
Yep.
in character, was it negligence, that he didn't report it and didn't have proper security, sure. But also, we aren't entirely sure that that is what actually caused what happened. At first look, of course, you would assume that that's what happened, that it was the necklace. But we don't know that. Not for 100% sure.
Fine, then I think the best course of action is, because this is obviously an ongoing debate, to report it so that the proper authorities can obviously...
It has been reported.
Yeah, but again, Thurgood has a museum of this, and if he has a history of continuing this kind of practice, that is going to only endanger further citizens.
I mean, he does have all the legal documents and things to own most of the stuff he has.
No,
just not
absolutely,
all
but
of it.
in the future, sure, let's say even less than 1%.
It is my understanding that this was the only item in his collection that was not registered.
Then what's to stop him from doing it in the future?
I think it would be fair that if he paid reparations
That's-
if and when we find out that the item was actually the cause.
Okay, that's
If the item is relatively low level and only speaks to dead people, then who cares? It's now going to be registered with the government and all
Right.
that. All proper procedures will be followed.
But I mean, it's even if it only does that, it was used in some connection with some other larger spell.
Maybe it wasn't even used. We don't even know that. We
Well-
aren't sure.
Okay.
We're going to get all the facts before we go. Stan, we're going to report people. Thanks.
I didn't even say that. I'm just saying instead
You
of
did.
having a nice conversation with him.
Which we'll do.
Yes.
If and when it was actually part of what happened at the theater.
Okay.
It's a compromise.
It's a compromise. It's a compromise of a compromise.
We can compromise. It's a thing we can do. See, a compromise requires communication. You can't just present a compromise and then decide that that's the only thing that you are comfortable with.
That's why I came over to Willow.
Yeah, but you did it wrong.
I love it.
Well, there's a slight smile when you say that.
All right.
It really seems like you're just worrying a little too much about it right now. Things will work out.
Well, or another young girl will die. One of the two.
Or we could be
Well,
eaten by a worm
It is
tomorrow.
currently in a vault, so the entire state would be negligible if it happens again. But if it does happen again, which is my hypothesis, and the necklace has no connection, then we're looking at an entirely different story.
Yeah, we can take care of that too.
Might even be more money in it than this.
Well, this has the potential to get a lot of money.
Well, the problem is that Miss Miss Law over here, I don't know if she's going to let us take a single book from this library.
We are currently working with someone who shouldn't have even sent us here. The idea that he even sent us here as a favor in order to get out of legal repercussions of our actions means that anything he said is null and void anyway.
So I guess we'll ask Taretha
What?
when we get here, and we'll be in a nice old library filled with interesting tomes,
That
perhaps
technically belongs to no one.
magical artifacts that are just sitting there for anyone who can punch a ghost to take.
Yeah.
Are you going to be upset when we bring them back to Pagania?
Why would I be? You're presuming quite a lot about me.
Because
I
presumably
frankly
the
don't
state
appreciate-
believes that it owns everything in the library.
Well, if the state owns everything in the library, then they have a right to it. And we're just merely sent to retrieve it.
So what happens when Talia finds an interesting book? What was your old name, by the way?
So you would have known her. So Talia is her actual name.
Yeah.
Talia Thievesbane. But she was also called Bane.
All right.
Like,
so
as a
I would have
nickname.
said Bane instead of Talia. When Bane finds something that she likes.
Well, I mean, then Dolly can ask the state. I don't think it's in our interest right now, especially if you're trying to protect your friend, for us to deceive the state. I do not think that's in our interest. We would be better to leave it behind, assuming it has nothing to do with our goal right now.
All right.
Regardless of whether or not that artifact caused whatever happened, we know that playing with foul magic is only going to get us into bad situations. And plus, dealing with hypotheticals like these, I think, are fruitless exercises.
No, it's good to know what your attitude would be if I stole one.
Well, assuming, yeah. I don't know what you want from me.
That's all we wanted. Oh, that's all I wanted. I don't know what you wanted.
Willow finds Taritha curious because when you don't say things, Taritha just keeps talking.
All right. I'll go to sleep
Yeah.
after a tense conversation. I love it.
Well, I want to keep watch.
Yeah.
Why? We're not.
I mean, I don't know. Like, we got eaten by worms. I mean,
True.
like, you know, a worm. I don't know if a worm can eat this. I don't know what amount of pressure it can withstand. So, are we gonna set up watches?
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
Going to bed.
I mean, if you ask if we're gonna set up watches, and it would make you feel more comfortable.
It would make Willow feel more comfortable. Eric
Tully
knows
would
that
not
nothing.
do that.
Eric knows
Can you,
that nothing is gonna happen, but Willow.
Can you tell me what the numbers are, or just like I just want the table to know
What?
the divination forecast of the
A
day.
19 and a 13.
Nice.
All right. So you throw that 19 on the non-existent fighter champion we have,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
when I hit level 11, I can crit on 19. So
One more.
one more level. All right.
All right.
What's your class?
Uh,
If you
my
feel like-
my monk and then Way of the
yeah,
Kensai,
okay,
but
okay.
we basically updated it because the actual Way of the Kensai is really really bad. Basically, here's what I'll say, and then we can continue on for the day. The Way of the Kensai, the way it's originally designed, assumes that your campaign will have no magic items. Like, it's like the level 11 thing is like you can spend key points to make your weapon a +1 weapon. It's like, but most people just get a +1 weapon when they're level 11. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's not an uncommon thing to have. And a lot of the things in the subclass follow that kind of line. So,
Yep.
you know, I proposed a homebrewed version with just updated different possibilities that kind of, I think, fit the flavor of the Way of the Kensei Monk. And Kelly agreed with them. It's mostly the exact same class with just a couple buffs and then a couple of changed things that mostly relating to the Way of the like some of them are related to the Way of the Samurai, so kind of just taking those two different subclasses and kind of mixing them a little bit.
I mean, I think a lot of 5e assumes low magic.
I also sent you something based on your roll.
Oh, delightful.
That is all. So y'all wake up, well rested, thanks to the nice hut giving you shelter from the cool desert night. And you know at this point you're pretty close to the library. They gave a map of the general area where it is, but because the sand shifts so much, you can't rely on landmarks. Like if they go like, oh yeah, there's this large mountain to the east that you'll be able to see. Well, sometimes the sand dune just gets too high that you won't be able to see the mountain because it dips too far down. So, but you have you know you're getting close. Can I get a perception check and a survival check?
I'll take a perception.
20 unnatural.
Was that for survival or
Survival.
perception? That would be a 27.
Okay. Yeah, so Taratha is doing the usual, trying to, follow the map, keep you on track. You, with your fucking, Legolas elf eyes, you see just the point, the very, very tip of what looks to be like a clock tower. And they did describe the library as having a clock tower at the middle front of it. So you know. What?
I'm gonna do the stupid cowboy thing where, like, as I have a a
It's
cowboy hat, I'm gonna
noon.
take the cowboy hat off and then do this and be like, I think there's
I
something
love
over
it.
there, and I'll put back on the hat.
Very, very nice. I like that.
Nice.
I wished that I would have made a ranger. I love this cleric, and I'm so prepped. But I was gonna try and make a ranger last night, and I just couldn't. 'Cause we're not staying in the same like terrain enough to make a ranger useful. But here would have been fucking perfect. Anyway,
Yeah.
continuing on.
Yeah. So do you approach the clock tower?
I assume we do.
Yes, we do that.
Okay. With your what's it called? With your perception check, you just get like this stench of just like arid sort of like it's not like rotting in the sense of like dank and musty, but it's just like this scent of death in a way. There's nothing around you. It's not like there's people that like died around this place. But that's not to say what's inside. And you could tell that like at some point someone like must have cut off the top, like the very point of it, so that they could kind of like rappel down. And you're about like say 100 feet away ish. You could be more if you want, but that's like what I imagine you're at when you're able to kind of see that the clock tower goes about 50 feet off of the ground. And
So
then,
everything's like in the sand underneath.
Correct.
And the clock tower is just the only thing we can see.
correct. So you could tell that this entire place is submerged in the sand.
All right. Looks like we found our mark.
Let's go.
There have been people here. Doubt
Yeah.
that they've.
They told us that.
Yeah. Don't know if they're still here.
No, whatever.
But we'll find out. We have no reason to have trouble with anybody who's down there.
We could find a reason.
I mean, raiders.
I guess we'll play it by ear.
Yeah, it might be nice.
Yeah.
We have
Maybe.
guards here. It's possible.
Maybe it'll help us bring back what we need.
Spectral guards.
We don't actually have to bring anything back. We're just sent to kill a bunch of undead things, and then we can read as much as we want when we leave.
Cool. Let's do that then. I mean, we just let them fight it out. Sit back. Have a nice cup of tea.
Who's them?
I mean, if there are any
Oh,
like,
you mean
bad
other-
guys, just let them get murked.
I mean, they're not necessarily bad guys. They're, just guys doing what they think is right or useful for them.
Useful, I think is the better word.
All right. How do you get up the tower? I know how you are.
I'm gonna
but-
fly up there.
Nice. With what?
My wings.
All right.
So it just looks
Yeah.
like
Sorry.
looks like I'm levitating up. But yeah.
Nice.
Rita, you need help
Or Tally?
getting up. Or Tally, sorry. Tally, you need help getting up. Or I guess Bane. Bane. I like Bane.
Yeah, I think it's a good nickname. I mean, she's gonna climb. Like that was her plan. But sure, if you.
What I'll do is I'll move up to perches and then I'll drop a rope down to you and then
Cool.
you can take the rope up and then I'll move up to the next perch and
Sure.
alright.
Just give me an athletics check with advantage because you're getting helped from your teammate. Nice.
Yeah.
That'll
You
do
just
it.
effortlessly like.
I do parkour. What's up?
Yeah.
You got a
Yeah.
high strength score, right?
I think that might be
Yeah.
why you're spending more time in the city than the desert. You're just having fun climbing buildings and Assassin's
Yeah.
Creeding it.
Assassin's Creed it. Yeah.
I dig it.
Oh, we long rested so my key is
Oh yeah,
reset.
you have long rested. You have your important things.
HP still at 73.
Christ.
When you guys find out that HP has, or that Willow has 1 HP, it's just she hasn't taken any damage yet.
And yeah, so looking down, you could tell that it's about a 150-foot drop from the top of the tower
For sure.
to the floor below.
Mm-hmm.
There are some things that you could maybe like climb down to, but the issue is it's so old that you can't tell whether or not it'll support you. So I would say like every 20 feet is something on the way down, but it's
But does the roof look like it will support? Right? Is there something to tie, like a beam, Besides
What did
something
you?
to-
Not
How
quite.
long did you say the drop was?
150.
100. All right, so I only have 50 feet of rope.
I mean, we each have 50 feet of rope, I would assume.
Like you could combine your
Unless you
ropes.
don't- Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
All right. How much?
There's not
is a
necessarily
150?
something that you think would, like on the roof that would support because everything is very old. But I mean, you could try and put something there.
I could open a door.
What?
Dimension
Oh
door.
yeah, I was like,
Talia.
that's 500 feet.
All right, Taritha.
Yes.
That's her only one.
Sorry, we have such close names.
If we tie this rope up here that we've tied all together, and you could you just fly down?
Yeah.
I guess wait, no, we don't need to do any of that. What the fuck am I saying? What all we would have to do is tie the rope together, get it on a purchase at the top, and then
But
just
there's
toss
nothing
it.
at the top right now that could support you.
Oh, so
Right,
we're
yeah, that's...
So you have to figure something out.
okay.
Well.
So so that's
How
what we're
far
trying
can
to
you
do.
jump down? That's above table.
How like the different places between that's above table?
Yeah, just above table.
So I take a lot. I think so the way slow fall works is that I think it's 50. I would just reduce any falling damage by 50 with a reaction.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so let me just double check that. Yeah, 5 times your monk level. So in theory, I could probably just jump
Yeah.
because it'd be 15d6, which would average
I
out to
think-
about,
Yeah.
which would be 3 times 15, which would be about 45. It averages out to 45 damage.
Yeah.
And so if I can reduce by 50, that means that I can, in theory, just jump and take minimal damage or no damage at all, depending on the dice rolls of the damage. So it's not an issue for me, but it is. But I might as well take the same path as Bane, and reduce all risk to 0.
Give me 1 second. I need to read the specific wording of Dimension Door.
It's 140 feet. I think it's to a space you can
It's
see.
500 feet.
It's 500.
500 feet.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a location. It's basically a location in range. It's
Oh, yeah.
one if I can visualize it.
Yes, that's right.
So like if let's say for instance I say 500 feet down, it would take me to that spot, and it would take me there as long as it doesn't. If it's already occupied, then it just doesn't work. My
We
wording.
could throw a torch down, right, so you can see the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because 150 feet isn't that far.
Yeah, it's not that
to
far.
visually see.
Yep.
To fall, quite a distance.
I would actually, if you in character said torch, Tolly would just be like, I can light an object. Let's not throw fire into this very,
Yeah.
very dry,
I mean,
very rotted.
I was more above table just discussing like the how we could see what is
for
at the
sure,
bottom of
for sure,
where
for
we're
sure.
jumping.
I just want to make sure, like, I have light, and that is what you would suggest if we're
Yeah.
going that way.
Okay, here's a question for you. So Dimension
As long
Door
as I can climb
doesn't.
down. She doesn't mind climbing down either.
Could I cast Dimension Door and send? Because the way it's worded is I can bring a willing creature with me.
Yep.
But it doesn't specify whether or not I can like open a door and send 2 people through it where I don't go through.
I don't think you can do that.
Yeah.
But it's okay if that's what you want to do without the rope.
Because I don't need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll try to jump between the ledges that Kelly was talking about, and then if I fall, I'll just do
Yeah.
my reaction to slow fall.
Yeah.
So
That would work.
It's like
I will cast guidance on myself and do the same.
or I can
Wait.
just open a door for you. I mean, it's above table. It's a big level spell slot for me, but
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I'd much rather play the safe route than not. But it's up to you. Like, what would your character want to do in this moment?
can you just carry a creature down by flying?
No.
I'm so weak.
Okay.
Can the wizard carry the cleric with plate armor?
I was
Plate?
just
Come on
suggesting
now.
it. You have half plate.
I have a shield. That's most
Yeah.
of my stuff. I think I have.
But your shit's got to be at
Oh
least
yeah,
like
my
100.
shit. My shit is heavy.
Yeah, so, like, I
that's
just...
fine because I have a strength of 3.
Like, I think, like, mechanics-wise it wouldn't be an issue, but narratively it just
Right.
doesn't make any
Right,
sense.
right.
Yeah.
So Tolly,
Or I can
Tony
cast.
spent a long time with you.
Yeah.
And would know that, like, you could only do the dimension door thing, like, very rarely.
Yeah.
Like, I imagine...
3 times a day.
Right. I mean,
or I could cast levitate on you, and we could tie boulders to your feet. And
I really could just climb down.
okay. And then I levitate up, and I'm like, I'll see you in the bottom.
Yeah.
We just don't have feather fall at all here. Just double checking.
No, I do not.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, on the bright side, if she falls, you do have enough time of her falling to cast levitate. So
You
if
do,
want
and
to...
honestly, also, like, I have 130...
I should have taken fucking... I didn't think, I'm like, oh, I don't need feather fall, I can fly. No shit. Other people, you idiot.
I basically
fine.
have a class feather fall, so
Yeah.
but I will go ahead of you, so that way I can make sure.
I
Like,
can also cast Death Ward on myself. Like, all sorts of shit, okay? Like, if
Yeah.
she falls, she's got contingency plans.
Alright,
And
yeah.
also, she has 130 HP.
You can cast-
Like,
Yeah.
she will be
Yeah.
fine.
in theory,
Like-
the average damage you take from this total fall is 45 damage. So,
Oh, fuck.
so like
Yeah.
that's
Like,
just
this
As if you cannonball down.
Yeah.
This is what she does.
You can cast... You said you cast light, right?
Yeah, I can cast light.
Just, like, cast it on, like, my head or something so you can see the light as I go down.
Sure. Yeah,
So you guys
that's
have
fine.
a little
I-
bit...
Okay,
yeah,
can
that's fine.
Can I get everyone's plan finalized and in what order you're going down?
I'm
So-
cast light on me, and I'm
Yeah.
going to fly down.
Okay.
I'm just gonna jump from ledge to ledge that are down, that are there,
Mhm.
and
Oh, great job.
and if I fall, I'll use my reaction to slow fall, which is
Okay.
how slow fall works.
So I'm gonna say for the first, we're gonna go 75 or 80 feet at a time. So
So that's halfway. Basically.
yeah, and I'm gonna say it's gonna take like a quarter of the time. Like so, like it'll take you 4 times as long to carefully climb down as it does for them
makes
to
sense.
just. So they're at 80 feet right now. To the 80 feet down, so about halfway.
Can I say because of the light, I'm giving them the help action because I'm eliminating the space?
I mean, I don't have dark vision, so
Only if you stay with
do.
them.
Yeah, that's my plan. Like, I'm
Okay.
gonna stay with them.
Yeah. Well, no, it's still even like let's say you're like working
Oh,
on the hood of the
shoot, I don't
car,
have
like
dark vision. All right.
even if you're working under the hood of the
Cast
car.
light on my cast light on my
I mean,
sword.
okay,
So yeah, if you're not
literally
going
it's a
down all the
cantrip
way
for
and
me.
you're just
So,
sticking
like,
with them,
I can
then
just
sure.
cast light. There is light of
Alright.
something on each of us right now.
Yeah.
So that we can all see what the fuck is
Oh.
happening. You're coming with us to illuminate the space. I'm gonna cast guidance on myself.
What's up?
Yeah, we actually learned this from one
Oh,
shot.
yeah.
You can't actually cast light on multiple objects at the same time.
That's why I'm
Yeah.
saying cast it on me.
Gotcha.
So,
Yeah.
like, because your hands
Yeah.
are gonna be taken up and all that.
Right.
It'll be okay.
Yeah.
I'm more.
That was-
I was
yeah.
more thinking ahead to when we have to do combat in this
Right.
presumably dark
Yeah.
library.
Well, we can. There are
We'll
things
figure it out
can
when we
do.
get to the bottom of the shaft.
And then I'm gonna cast guidance. So
Okay.
I have a +4.
Yep. So let's go 10 feet at a time, or no, 20 feet at a time,
Okay.
because there's something every 20 feet to kind of like make your way down towards. So, you're going first.
All right. Acrobatics. That's a 12.
Okay, you hit like you grab the first thing, but it just breaks underneath you. Give me a dex saving throw.
This dice isn't rolling too well, but that's still a 15.
All right, not quite enough. You fall. Now you could make a dex saving throw one more time to try and grab onto something else on your way down, or are you going to use your reaction to feather fall?
It's slow fall.
Oh, sorry.
I'm
what
just.
hap- yeah.
So how far up am I now?
So when you were carefully making your way down and about 20 feet, so this is like 130 feet in the air, you stepped on like a platform and it just crumbled and broke underneath you and you started falling and then like you tried to grab onto something else.
I'm gonna kick off the wall and slow fall. No, it does not actually slow my descent.
Right.
It just makes it so that I take 50 less damage when I hit the ground.
Okay.
So like but the way it's flavored is like I keep going. Like I'm not slowly getting there.
Okay.
So-
Yeah, because
we'll
it used to
say
be slow.
Yeah.
used to be slow.
we'll be 40 feet by the time this thing happens. You're not on the ground yet. You.
Cool. Okay.
Well, that's it.
Never mind.
Nice. All right. Yeah,
There you
you're
go.
able to climb down 20 feet. You're 130 feet up.
Cool. 14.
Can you not guidance yourself?
You have advantage, remember?
Why?
My
Oh,
light.
still?
Yeah, I'm giving
Yeah.
you the help.
Wait, I had advantage on that check that I just did?
Yeah, you didn't do advantage.
Oh.
only on the first one.
I rolled this. Oh wait, so it would have been it would have then been a 15 instead.
I still would have fallen.
Those are high DCs.
It's very old crickety things.
No,
So
I mean it's okay. It's not
it's
a
a
big
16,
deal.
so
It's just like
so-
if you have to make so many, you're going to fail. Like it's almost impossible
So it's
not to
18.
fail if it's an over 15.
Well, this is when you're not using rope right now off the roof. You said you were using the platforms.
Yes.
So you could have done other things and not have to do this check.
Right. So okay, so 18.
Okay, you're good. Now you're 103. No, 110.
I didn't make that one. That's well. No. Well.
Well, and
13.
I should be at the base at this point.
Right. We're getting there.
All right.
13.
Okay, yeah. Give me a dex save. Okay.
No.
All right. So you hit the ground very shortly before you see Tally just hurtling down. Do any of you have anything to stop her from falling?
I could cast levitate on her.
It's up to you if you want to waste a spell slot, but also she is just kind of like.
You also just rise back up.
Like.
Well, you can probably, even with your minimal strength, be buoyant and pull her down, and then end. It's a concentration spell, so you can end the concentration once you pull her down.
You've seen her. Despite her wisdom, she is relatively reckless. So.
I mean, I'm not concerned about wasting a second level spell slot.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's up to you. If your character would, then do that. Do it.
Just and you start rising up, and some guy fly down and like grab you by the ankles. Well, so it's just like pulling you gently down.
All right, pause. So you're about like 100 feet in the air at that point. Does that sound
probably.
like good math by the time you hit the ground?
Sure.
Or because I can't do math.
I assume that I hit the ground approximately when Tali did the first check. Because that makes sense. Because when you're falling, 150 feet is not very much.
Right.
Okay.
So then 120 feet, I'll say.
120. So you roll. What is that? That's 12d6.
Yes.
It's 1d6 for every 10 feet of falling.
Yeah, some d6s.
Yeah. Thank you, Rogue.
There's 6.
Which I will reaction, of
Here's
course.
9,
Slow fall.
10, 11. I'll just re-roll one of them.
Oh. Couple
Not
ones
bad.
in there.
All right. As long as it's like not all 6s, I'm pretty sure. Because 12d6, unless if it was all 6s, then I would take 20 damage. So the maximum I can take is 20. So that's.
There you go. Thank you, math. 1 second. I was hoping Google would. 40 damage.
Yep, I take 0. Because
Yep.
I can reduce it by
And then
50. So.
Is that
You
like
take-
a
you
bank?
take-
of
oh, no,
things
you
to
don't.
pull
No.
from, or is it
It's like-
consistently
I
50?
forgot.
It's
Yeah,
I'll
levitate.
read it to
Yeah.
you.
So just take yours.
Slow fall.
Yeah.
Being for the
Yeah,
usual
I was
reaction
like, where
when
do
you
you
fall,
go for
reducing
mine?
any fall damage you take by an amount equal to 5
So
times
it's
your
not
rank
like
level.
a pool. Okay.
No. So
I couldn't imagine it being a pool, but that makes sense.
All right. You hit the ground.
but like a cat.
Yup. Yeah, you do. Actually, here's the thing. I want to set this up. You hit the ground, and it's like a superhero landing, and it feels cool and awesome. And there's just like this funnel of light like right on you, like so it's kind of like you're in the spotlight right now, and it feels really cool. And like you notice the in your bag, like where the rations were, it just smells awful now.
The
like,
rations have
Yes.
gone bad.
yes,
Okay.
like horribly bad.
I'll toss them.
And as you toss them, you hear, "You shouldn't have come here."
Oh no.
And you look up, and around you, just to describe this.
Whoa,
So
it's like I can see all of this. Where did
yes,
I land?
I'm getting there.
All right.
Okay, so you land like right on the circulation desk, and it actually.
Well, I would break the desk. I don't want to
Yeah.
break it. Can I land right in front
Sure.
of it?
Sure, that's fine. So this is like kind of like
Just
the
from
main
my
area.
visualization.
Yeah.
Is he the receptionist?
No, put him back. So 1 second. There's one more.
Of course there is.
Yep.
Sure you're not forgetting anything?
No, we've got a wizard.
Yep. A
Okay.
dark-skinned elven type man with long, pin-straight black hair is standing in the doorway. This is a circulation desk doorway, hallway back here. Behind you are stairs down to this large door that you can't see right now. Now that I realize, because you don't have. I mean, it's dim light, so you can kind of see sort of what's going on. You can't see the door, but you can tell like there's probably the entranceway that way, just from
no, that all makes
how you know
sense.
how.
Because I'm in the
buildings are
clock
made.
tower that's presumably the front of the building. That all makes sense.
And let's roll for initiative. Oh, sorry, and these things, so they're like these hulking huge, and they are size category huge, like Frankensteinian
15
type
feet
of,
tall.
like just corpses that are pieced together.
Oh,
19.
This
they're undead.
okay. So far the willow dice have not been a good investment. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh.
It's okay. They'll you know they need a little bit of a warm up. See, look, that's better.
Tali?
That's better.
Dirty 20.
Okay.
Yeah, they just need to be rolled a couple times so that they know that
And
they
then
can be good.
Willow.
10.
Okay.
Which isn't as it was a nat 5. So like, you know, yeah. Like I've rolled like a bunch of 18s and 19s now. So like,
Okay.
you know, it's just
Do you have dark vision?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, how far? Because you're currently 120 feet up.
60.
Okay, so I'm going to say that you can't see where these things are right now.
That's fine.
You can see this one, but these ones are behind. Like there's like a what's it called? A ceiling in the way, so you can't see any of this. But I will say you could see this with disadvantage, if that makes sense. Like if you were to make an attack roll, it'd be
So it's
at
basically cover.
yeah.
Okay.
So, all right. Who goes first?
Tali.
Oh.
Sorry.
Damn.
No. All I want is the destroy undead. Nice. Oh. I won't do that yet because I have to be within 30 feet. Okay.
I could drop concentration and throw it down.
I mean, you could.
Would you tell me my character to do that?
You could delay your turn and
Holy
have them
shit,
do
monks
that.
are good.
Because I most likely am up next.
Level 18, you can become invisible for a minute.
We're 100 feet off the ground?
120.
120? Do I make a check or anything, or do I just take falling damage?
You just take falling damage. At this high up, you would. 10, 20 feet, yeah, I'd let you roll, but unless you're a monk.
Are you going to drop concentration anyway? Like, would your characters do that?
My character would not unless you told me to. We would go down 30 feet at a time.
Taretha still got fireball.
I got a lot of things.
Oh.
The joke is that like, you've got your one answer solution, right?
Yeah.
Alright.
Remember Destructive Wave last Friday?
God, that was
That
fun.
was
They were
epic.
actually talking about, like, on Saturday, like, that really helped because we were blowing through everything. Like, all the tanks were going down.
I'm just saying, I'm like, I have 5 health.
Yeah.
I have 1 chance. That spell is insane.
I know.
God,
Such
that
a good spell.
Sorry. 17
fine.
level 17 paladins get access to so many great things.
They
Yep.
do.
At 17. Fucking bards.
Hold on. I don't know any of the cleric spells.
If it would help, I could also, if you don't want to take the falling damage, Tali, I can.
It's not so much that she doesn't want to take it, it's more like... Oh, shit. I don't have any, like, super ranged things. It's more like what's gonna be... Because she's got fireball. And so I don't want to drop and be there right now. I would want to wait.
Who has fireball?
Yeah.
Willow has fireball?
Yeah? No? Yes?
Willow's
No.
monk.
No? Okay,
Yeah,
never
well-
mind.
Well,
I have fireball.
There we go.
But I'm
In my
not going to
brain.
throw it at a single target, and you would
Right.
know I would not throw it at a single
Right.
target.
Sure.
You could hit, I think, all 3 of these enemies with a fireball.
I could, but I can't see them.
No, yeah. Oh, wait. You have dark vision.
I do have
but
dark
do you have superior dark vision because it's
No.
more than 60 feet away?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, she would just say drop me.
Yeah, I'm like, So you're gonna delay your turn, and we're gonna play it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So what's gonna happen is I'm going to drop concentration, and Can I like?
That can be actually a free
Oh,
action
pause.
on her turn.
There's someone that goes before you.
Oh, it can be a free action. What I was.
Oh,
Okay,
go ahead.
I'll let you go. We can talk about what I want to do in a second.
Okay. Yeah, because you're gonna have to wait for your turn to do that. Or were you just looking to drop concentration so that she could go on her turn, or?
No, I'm gonna delay it till after.
Yeah. And then what I was gonna say is, if I like, because I have her by the ankle, like.
Well, I don't want to know what you do because I don't want to metagame.
Oh, cool.
So I just wanted to know whether or not you're dropping it as a
I'm
free
not
action.
dropping it.
Okay.
Not until
So
my turn.
then, Willow,
Yeah.
you see the drow just start weaving his hands and whispering
I don't
some
see that.
evil Willow.
Oh, Willow.
Yeah.
We're
I
getting our
heard
names.
Drow. I don't know
What?
why I heard drow.
I said drow. Yeah,
Yeah, drow.
there is a drow.
A drop.
And he is
Oh.
Dark elf.
yeah.
I don't even know what's going on. It's fine. My brain today,
I feel you.
or all the time.
5, 10,
It's fine.
Actually, he'd do it here. 5, 10.
Is this an AoE?
Mm-hmm.
Does it require me to make a dexterity saving throw?
Not yet, but on your turn.
Alright.
Black tentacles just start writhing out of the ground, reaching up, just like licking at your legs. Taratha, what do you do? Oh, and then he is going to.
Like, can we avoid that though?
Bye. Nope.
No, I know, but like, can you? I'm saying that in character. Can you drop me not on those?
Or
things?
We don't
actually, you
see
wouldn't
it.
know
Yeah,
where-
do these
We don't
walls
see it.
matter is actually a
The
question
walls
that I
do absolutely
Okay.
matter.
We-
So actually, you don't know where he went.
Alright,
So-
but just to note in your
But you would have
movement,
watched him.
Yeah. I would.
Well, no, this is not a wall.
Yeah. No, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
I would not allow a player to or a creature to make this move because it is blocked. I
Right,
would
but
say they have to
I
do
made him
this.
go 5, 10, 15. Like instead of just going 5, 10,
Yeah.
15.
No, that's
So
that's
that
fine.
was just me.
I don't mind. I just and you're allowed to use walls however you want to do.
Yeah.
It's just confusing for me to see a creature do this diagonal because
Yeah.
to me that's moving through a wall.
Yep. Taratha, what do you do?
So just so you, Taratha would not do this. Just so you know, I'm not metagaming. Taratha is going to dash 60 feet to reduce the falling damage, not because I know that this is here,
Uh-huh.
and then drop concentration and throw you down.
Cool.
And that would be my turn. So now I can see what's happening. I'm like, oh,
So you're 60 feet up now.
Yep.
At this point.
so I
Okay.
can see everything.
You wouldn't be able to see these two because they're still in the. There's a ceiling. This is the only one you're able to see.
But I can see all.
But I can see
Yeah,
that there's
you
magic
can
shit
see all of
happening, and
Yep. You can gather that there's probably more going on, but you wouldn't know the exact locations of the others. Next up is the fist up one.
Wait. No, be me.
Oh,
'cause
you?
I,
Okay.
I delayed till
Sounds good.
after you did whatever the fuck you were doing.
Yep.
So it means I'm taking fallen damage.
Yep. You fell.
And I would
60 feet.
yeah, I would
So
aim.
66.
I would try to aim like outside of the tentacle stuff once I saw it.
10, 14, 17.
Not bad at all.
That's fine.
And do you allow Taritha to aim, Bane?
I'm gonna say you can try, but I
gonna
mean,
be a
it's you're
strength
literally
athletics check?
falling right on it. So I'm gonna say athletics check.
Me?
Yep.
Cool.
Well, we'll see if you hit.
This is a good time to use your. That's a nat 20 or a.
No,
oh,
that's
darn.
a 9.
Use the 19.
I'm not using the 19.
That avoids your friend being inside of
Alright.
a warlock's presumably level
How about-
5 spell slot. But anyways, do whatever you want to do.
Porton is very valuable. I don't know how long we're gonna be in here.
All right.
All right, you are inside the tentacles. Yep.
Can I make an athletics check to avoid?
Let me just see. I would say no. You are falling at. You are at the whim of gravity and your friends. Let's see. When a creature enters the affected area, it starts to turn there. Give me a dex saving throw.
15.
Okay, you are restrained, and you take 13 bludgeoning damage.
Well, la-di-da-da.
But you see everyone there.
Cool.
You can still
Cool.
do stuff.
That's your turn.
It is my turn.
Holly, how's it going on down there?
Shut the fuck up. No, not really. That's not what she would say.
And all around you are like corpses, death, skeletons.
Oh, cool. Lovely. Alright. I should have just had all this up on my phone to begin with, and I didn't. I'm sorry.
Hello, Anshar.
Hello.
We are
Anshar.
joined. Willow, you're on deck.
All right.
Oh wait, no. There's an enemy that's before you. I'm sorry.
So,
I was all set to go, and then
That's
Talia.
Oh, my shit is based on melee attacks. Fucking hate you. Can I attack these tentacle things? No, 'cause I'm restrained. Maybe.
You
But
could
you
do an
used an
intelligence
action.
check.
All right. Oh. That's pretty high.
Oh, actually, you could use your action to try and get out. So
Yeah. Yes.
Yep.
That. Cool.
Yep.
I wish I would have used my not intelligence check for that.
Yeah, that's
I
really
didn't get out.
unfortunate.
okay, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's not your fault. It's mine.
All right.
Next time we're just gonna do Toll the Dead and fucking call it a day.
No,
Next
no one has
up-
take damage.
You
Taking damage.
Oh.
Is
That's the one bad thing about the
Stop.
spell.
This one is going to
well, it just does less damage. This
Five,
is a
No,
D2d8.
it doesn't do any
15.
damage. It needs
um,
to. Wait,
and I need
you might be right.
Sorry, I have a player cast it all the time, so
which one?
told it that.
There's some aspect of it
yeah.
where it takes no damage, and I can't remember if it
The
fails
target-
to save
Yeah,
or
it
if
takes 1d8. If it's missing any hit points, it takes 1d12 instead. So it's
Gotcha.
a d8 normally.
Okay. I need dex saving throws from the two of you as this like shambling corpse
You have
just
disadvantage.
hulks over and just spews out this noxious spray at them. You're not restrained yet, Willow, so.
Well, yet I'm not gonna be restrained. So that'll be a 15.
Oh, I'm sorry, con save. Did I say?
Oh,
That's better.
Yeah, I'm
Significant.
sorry.
Significantly
that's
better.
that's an 8. You did say dex save.
I know, that was my mistake.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be
19.
con.
8.
Okay.
So I'm gonna take full damage.
Hey, first time taking damage.
It's probably gonna be too much.
1 second.
Is it acid?
We'll get there. So, oof. 15.
Oh,
So
please
it's
be poison.
19 poison damage.
Ha! Ha 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 ha!
And
I'm immune to disease and poison.
Nice.
Fuck you!
And what is back? 9 necrotic damage.
Okay, I do take the 9 necrotic damage.
Do I take half or?
Yeah, half of each of those, unless you have resistance to either of those. So 19 plus 9 divided by 2. And then he is going to move back to where he was. Just want to make sure. Yep. And then it is Willow's turn.
Alright,
Please give me a dex save.
dex save. That will be a 20.
Surprisingly, you're still no, I'm
27.
kidding. You can move, but give me 1 second. It's difficult terrain. That is all.
Alright, well, I have 50 feet of movement, so I
Yeah.
think I'll be okay. So 10, 20, 25, 30, 35. I'm gonna move up on that one.
Yep.
I can see him okay, right?
Oh yeah.
For
You
the
want to be
purposes
on
of-
this square or this square?
Yeah, like it's dim lighting right now.
We'll go with where the second one, so the one closer, yeah.
So okay. Yeah, it's dim lighting. So you are able to see them, but
I'm gonna take 2 attacks.
okay.
I'm gonna roll just both attacks. I assume one won't kill, so I'm just gonna take both the attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Does a 16 hit?
It does.
Does a 13 hit?
It does not.
Okay, so it's this. Well, I only need to roll 5, and I managed to only do that once, so that's kind of unfortunate. But
Just away.
Christ. Goodbye.
all right, so that'll be 16 damage.
Hey.
Okay. Let's see, the
Stunning
Minotaur.
strike.
What kind of save?
That's a con save.
That's a nat 1. It
Okay.
is stunned.
All right, so I will. Okay, so that was one key point. I will flurry of blows.
Okay.
So I have advantage on both of these attacks. That'll be a 26 and a natural 19, so 28.
Both will hit.
And then that will be 14 damage.
Okay. It takes it.
And then I'll turn, because I know it's stunned, to defend myself in the other direction. Not that that doesn't matter, because we don't, you don't do turning in D&D. But I was just for flavor.
I love it because this is why I love these things so much. This one, you watch it disappear and
behind
reappear.
a wall.
Yep.
So running around
Behind
a wall.
here.
So not really disappearing, but
And it picks up the second one and launches it over. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yep. And now it is over here, and that one gets to make one attack.
okay.
It's my favorite racial feat for them. Dirty 20.
Nope. 23.
Nice. All right.
Oh,
So then it is Tali's turn. You take 1 second.
Bracers of defense, baby.
15 bludgeoning damage.
And I have the agile parry.
What do you do?
Wait, we're back up to.
Yeah.
Because she delayed.
Yeah, because technically I'm on top.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So we're back to the top.
Yeah.
All right. So did I learn anything from that intelligence check that I rolled?
What?
Just one thing that I'm confused about. It's okay. This one never took a turn.
That
It
one
got
did.
thrown.
It threw.
Oh,
it did the spray.
Oh, it
Yeah,
did the
also
spray.
did spray.
Okay, yeah. So then they all did it, and then that one's been stunned. So obviously, okay.
Yep.
That's what I was like. I only remember one of them taking a turn, but I guess it is 2. Okay. good.
Yep.
Yeah. So the question is, did I learn anything from that intelligence check I made last time?
What was it?
17.
These are magical. It seems like it'd be better to try and struggle your way out than to try and attack it, because as soon as one gets hit, another one comes up.
I would have said to you as I passed by you, as I jumped out of the tentacles, fucking wizard behind the deeper in the library.
Okay. Well, I'm at disadvantage for a dex save, right? Or to get out.
No, you just make a athletics or acrobatics check. A save. Pretty much dex or strength save is what I meant to say.
Okay.
But it's not disadvantage to get out.
Okay. That still didn't do it.
Okay.
Well, what do you could have a bonus there. If you have proficiency, a 6 might be enough.
It's not. I rolled like a 13 or something last time.
Okay.
I didn't get out.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Do you do anything else? Bonus
I can't.
action?
Toll the dead. Oh, that was your action.
Yeah. I don't have anything to do. Because clerics don't have bonus actions.
I mean,
Really.
you do once you cast spiritual weapon.
It takes an action, I guess. So
And I also
Right,
don't have it
but you could
prepared,
use your-
'cause I don't
okay.
No,
prepare
spiritual weapon is a bonus action.
to cast it, or
yeah,
to
to
use
cast it is a bonus action, and to use it is a bonus action.
All of it's bonus, I believe. But no, I don't. She doesn't
Okay.
use it. So.
Yep, that'll make it tough
Then-
to use.
Next up is the wizard, who goes, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, and just kind of nudges in.
Can I
And
see
he's
him?
going to, you can see him come in.
Cool.
1 second. You see him casting. Do you want to try and counterspell it?
Yeah, I'll counterspell it.
Okay. Roll, because it is a level 5 spell.
Cool. And I'm not upcasting that.
Good intelligence check. Can I just dispel fucking magic?
I'm gonna wave my hand and
Uh-huh.
replace it with
That's
a
what I'm
13, which then I add my modifier, which is a +9, so it's gonna be
Okay.
21.
Yeah, you watch this gnarly, just noxious spell die in his hands. You can tell me what the spell magic is. He
Slowly, one of your
it's not my.
fingers.
It's not
5,
my.
10, 15,
It's not my
20,
turn. So I
and
will go
then
on my
he's
turn.
going to disappear
was
from
stupid.
your points of
Okay.
views.
He moved.
I-
We see him move back because
Right.
he's not actively
yeah,
hiding,
sorry.
right? He's just
Yeah,
You're using
sorry.
the word disappear a lot in regards
From
to
your
walls.
points of view.
Guys, from our point of view, he's moving behind
Yes,
the wall.
okay.
Yes.
Sorry.
He's not going
Yeah.
invisible.
Yeah. It'd be different if he was taking like a bonus action hide, like a rogue,
Yeah.
where it's like you really like lose them, right?
Yeah.
But in this case, you just know that they're like behind.
Yeah,
they're
you just watch him go this way
he's
somewhere.
behind cover, basically.
Yeah.
Is he behind cover and I can see him?
Nope.
Okay, just wanted to make that was important.
Yeah.
Let's pay like full cover, right? 'Cause
Yeah,
it
like
takes-
you were barely. You only saw him because he appeared in the doorway, and you just saw like this kind of like magical like spark come on, and you just went like that. But then like there is still like an archway, and then you can't see anything above.
I love having a wizard on my team.
Taratha, what do you do?
Are these humanoids?
Undead art.
Yeah, they're undead. I mean, they're made of humans.
Well,
but
that's my question.
yeah.
Like humanoid is a weird distinction.
It's not humanoid for the purposes of spells.
It's not. Yeah, it's not listed as a humanoid creature.
No, that's why I asked. What do I want to do? What do I want to do? Fuck me. What do I want to do? I don't know what I want to do. This is such a hard question.
Just dispel fucking magic.
I can't dispel, but I can cast fireball on my friend.
I have evasion.
You do have evasion?
I'm a monk, yeah. Monks
Monks
get
are epic.
Monks get evasion.
But
So
then how are you going to get the two of them while this one has disadvantage?
Yeah, like
You also-
if I put it here, that would actually 5, 10, 15, hit it. 5, 10, 15. I think it would hit everybody if I cast it like here, like I cast it right here.
yeah,
5,
20-foot radius.
5, 10, 15, 20. 5.
You have to
10,
start with like a
15,
point,
20.
right?
Yeah, if I did it here, it would hit everyone, including you.
One
And
second.
me.
I just
You
wanna
also
see
know that she doesn't care.
5, 10.
She doesn't
you
look
get
bad
that?
enough at this
5,
point for you to
10,
care.
15, 20. Sure.
Yeah, it's worth
Yeah.
noting that remember you can start like at the point in between. You don't like this
Yeah.
isn't the thing.
Well, I'm gonna
Yeah,
cast
it's
it.
close enough where like you're all very.
Yeah, I want to cast it at the point where I can.
Yeah.
So
No, you got all three of them.
all right, so I
So
need to
is-
make a dex
And,
save.
and I know you wouldn't care.
Yeah.
And I would know that you can cast evasion, but regardless. Not cast it, you don't cast it, it's just cool. Yeah, dex save. You have to beat a 17.
Yep. Let's see.
And you can always portent theirs if you really want.
That's a 3 and a 5. No need.
I don't think I'll make it. That's a 16 actually. So I take half damage
Yeah.
because of evasion.
Just because it's fireball.
Beautiful.
Oh shit!
Also, you could switch to math time.
Yeah, I
just
was
realized.
actually just thinking
That was very loud.
Sorry for everyone's ears. I'm gonna place this over here. So that's 10,
have my-
15,
there we go.
20, 25.
25, so I take
That's not a bad fireball.
12.
Yeah, let me just. You got fists up. You got Minotaur, and you got fists back.
Are
That's
any
what
of them weak to fire?
Wait.
No, you just really made them angry. They just start gnashing their teeth.
And I'm
at
gonna
you.
like I imagine I'm like right up here, so I'm gonna do like 30 feet, so I'm like 30 feet up, and I'm gonna move like over to this side. And
Nice.
if I'm over here, can I like see the
Here,
wizard at all?
Nope.
Cool.
1 second. I could have sworn I pulled out a little chip for flight.
I'll just
But-
we'll just say I'm 30 feet up.
Yeah, this thing.
Okay, cool. 30 feet up.
Yep,
Just
you got it. Next up is Fists Up, who is going
Is that
to.
this guy?
Yep. 1 second. I gotta pull up there.
he's fists up. He's fists.
I like that
down.
he's got a difficult choice here because he can go for the restrained person who is he has advantage against, but he has to pull away from me, or he can go for me, who is not restrained and that's harder to hit.
Yep. I think. No, I think that its int isn't great. It just sees something in front of it.
No, that's
Sandwich
fine. I was
between
just saying
two.
like it's a tough choice to make, you know.
Yeah. That's a nat 20 on you.
Willow
For the
or
first
me? I'm sorry.
Willow.
Okay.
And then the second attack.
I have a quest.
Is not good enough.
It's a
What?
it's a crit. So if like I use one of my dice to lower the roll, could we rule? And because I mean, obviously, not allowing
Yeah.
a crit to hit because of like what is essentially a lore bard ability is lame. But can I like turn it into not a crit? Because if I lowered it by 3 to 17,
I'll look up the critical hit rules.
yeah.
Yeah. Because here's the thing, like.
The attack hits regardless of any modifiers and is called a critical hit. And so it's just when you roll a 20. I think like you'd be reducing so the only way it would work is I have a 23 AC.
Yep.
But it automatically hits because it's a 20. So
Yep.
even if you reduce the amount or raise my AC, it automatically hits because it was a 20.
Yeah.
And you're not lowering the actual dice that was rolled, which was the 20, right? You're lowering like the end result, right?
Yeah.
But a nat 20 always hits.
Well, that's my
Yeah.
thing. So yeah.
So
okay.
unfortunately, yeah, I don't think it.
Well,
would
it's not
change
about
anything.
making it not. It's just making it not a critical.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter.
You could use Portent to make it not a critical.
Oh, give it a 19?
Yeah.
I could
Just
actually.
saying.
No, I'm not gonna do it.
No, but it's okay. Don't worry about me.
Oh.
It's okay. Kelly
One
just kills me
second.
once every 3 sessions.
I
What's the
know,
big deal?
I know. 1 second. I mean, at least it only hit once.
It missed. Oh yeah, it did miss the other attack. Just if it did.
64 damage.
I'm down.
It's okay.
Shit! First time you
It's cool.
take damage.
It's cool.
Christ.
I got this. We're fine.
And then we are up to Willow. Make a death save.
First death save of the new campaign.
Willow dice sucks. That's actually a nat 1, so I take 2 death saves, right?
I don't do that though, so you just take 1.
Just give me the 2.
Nope.
She doesn't
Warning.
do it.
Next up is Minotaur, who's going to just kind of move around this way and take 2 attacks at the restrained one with advantage. So the higher one is a 19. Does that hit you?
No.
Oof. Then that one won't hit either. So this one's just fucking useless. And it's actually dumb because there's something else
Actually, it
that it should have
doesn't.
done.
Oh yeah, it gets a turn back because yeah.
Yep. And then next up is Fistback, who is going to move up just a little bit and spray you. I need a con save.
Am I in the? All right.
24.
Okay, you take half damage. So the first one is 18 poison damage and then 14 necrotic damage.
Do not cast fireball. Do not cast
Do
fireball.
not cast fireball.
We are back to Tali.
All right. Just get Willow up. Okay, so I'm gonna cast Mass Cure Wounds,
Mm-hmm.
so it also hits me, cause I needs it.
And that's friendlies only, right? Or is it
Uh,
all
it's-
creatures?
Undead and constructs doesn't do it anyway, but
Nice.
I think it's creatures you choose, right?
No, it's each target. But well, I mean,
Yeah, that does mean the
yeah,
same thing.
yeah.
But no, because some
Well,
healing is
AOO or AOE.
Out from a point of your choice. Okay, so a wave of healing energy washes out from a point of your choice within range. Choose up to six creatures. There we go. Whatever. So that's 11,
Ooh, that's
19
Ooh,
plus 5 is 24.
really good.
Nice.
That's a good mass cure.
Solid.
Negating
good.
my effectively negating my firebolt damage.
nice.
I mean, next time, hopefully, if you don't go down again, we're doing fucking
I'm
dispel
probably gonna
magic.
go. I'm probably gonna go down.
Well,
Yeah.
they're focused on me right now too.
Yeah.
So
Yup.
This one has advantage on me because I'm up. I'm prone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and then you don't see anything. So only you, Taratha, would see the wizard just go.
So I don't see him anymore. I still
You
or
don't
I
see him anymore.
Okay.
You see him run from over here to into there,
Okay.
but that's it. Taratha, what do you do?
How are these things looking?
None of them look bloodied.
Fun.
yeah, well, I haven't done any damage yet.
I know.
Fun. Are any of them wearing metal?
Nope. I'm so sorry. I know that's my favorite spell too.
And one day I'll get to use it. On a target that can actually take damage. Do not cast fireball. I could start working back on my spell slots. 1 second. I don't like that guy because he can teleport. I don't like that at all.
You can't teleport.
But he did teleport.
No.
No, that's just me being bad at describing things. I
Okay.
mean, you don't know whether he could teleport or not, but he sure as shit didn't
That's
teleport.
driving me
What
mad.
happened was he ran from here to here and went behind
Yeah.
the wall so we couldn't see him.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just reading
That's-
up on a spell. Okay, so I'm going to cast Mind Spike
Nice.
at a 4th level.
Okay. Is there int things that are required, or
It is a Wisdom saving throw, and I'm going to do it on which one? What I think has taken the most damage? This dude.
the
That's the only
Minotaur
one that's
has?
taking
Minotaur.
any damage.
But do they have to have a minimum int or wisdom?
No,
Okay.
no. So they make a Wisdom save.
14.
Nope. Cool. So that's gonna be 9. Those roll 9 plus 17, 21 points of damage,
Nice.
and
Now he's bloodied.
I always know his location until I drop concentration,
Sounds good.
and I regain a 3rd level spell slot.
Nice. I mean, Fist Up still thinks that you are dead at this point because you're still prone. So it's going to turn and attack Tolly. With advantage. That's cocked. That's not going to hit. That's not... Oh, I still get... That one will, though. An 18 plus 7, I imagine, hits you.
No. Yeah.
So it's going to get you for... 21 bludgeoning damage. And then next up is Willow.
I'll get up, and I will move in between the Minotaur and the guy.
Like this?
No, behind them. There.
Okay.
I'll take first attack against Fisty.
Okay.
16.
That will hit.
Okay. He takes 14 stunning strike.
Nice. Con. That's cocked, but it landed on dice. That's a nat 1.
Hey,
Oh, okay. And then
okay.
second, then I'm gonna change my attack to Minotaur.
Mm-hmm.
So this is my second attack with my blade. That'll be a 20 or 18.
Yeah,
18.
that'll hit.
That will be 10 damage.
Okay.
Stunning strike.
Nope.
Okay. My thing isn't like that high. It's only like 16. So,
Yeah, that's a 15.
Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah. So like
Yeah,
I would say
no.
a lot of 15 because that's really close to like 16.
Yeah, but I was pretty
Um,
sure that like I've rolled 15 before and
Yeah, it's 8
Yeah.
plus 4 plus 4 is 16.
Yeah.
All right. So, he's stunned. All right. I can't move through stunned creatures, right? So I can't get to this one to stun them as well.
No, you could stun him though.
they're both stunned.
Oh shit.
So that's
Yeah, I'm gonna say you'll have to take the long way around.
Yeah,
in
no,
order to-
it's okay. If you want to do the next thing's turn, I have to look up the.
It's important to me where you are because where you are will determine.
I'm probably gonna stay there. I want to look up. Are you allowing the variant rules from that Unearthed Arcana?
Which one?
Oh, it's an action. Never mind. Monks can heal themselves in the new, like the thing that allows like the rogue to do the take aim. That document. It has stuff for monks, and one of them is quickened healing, so you can spend 2 key points to roll a martial arts die and regain a number of hit points. So like I could, but I am going to. So I still have my bonus action.
Yep. I just wanted to make sure or something.
How hard
I
is
love
it?
this thing so
So they
much.
can't take attacks of opportunity against me.
Correct. Ooh, I gotta tie my shoe.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just 1 second. How hurt does Minotaur look?
Bloodied.
I'll go ahead. I'm gonna flurry blows the Minotaur.
Sounds good.
First attack is a nat 20 from the Willow Dice.
Nice.
So thank you, Willow Dice. So that will be 6 plus 7 plus 5. So 12 damage.
Okay.
Is he down?
Nope.
I'll do a second punch. Double nat 3s. So it's only going to be a 12. So
That will not do it.
okay. That's it for me.
All right. The fist back guy is gonna come up and spray another thing of noxious fumes. Can I get a con save from both of you?
17.
Okay, you'll take half.
19.
Okay, you'll take half, but some of it's poison, so ignore that first one.
Yep.
So the first
Purity of body.
is 9 poison
Okay.
and 18 necrotic.
I'm sorry, say the first one.
18 5? No. What did I say?
There's 9 poison,
9 poison.
18 necrotic.
Yeah.
It
So,
just stinks that the poison was
know.
lower because I don't take any of it.
on the
but
bright
it's
side, the
okay.
first time the poison was a lot higher.
And I also got downed by over 20 damage, so it wouldn't, or over 15 damage, so
Yeah.
it didn't matter. But now it matters because I'm so low.
Yep. Tally. What do you do?
These guys are both restrained, and they're both within melee range of use. So,
Your disadvantage is negated.
they're both incapacitated. These guys are both
Yeah.
stunned, so you have advantage. So your disadvantage from being in here is negated by there. So you'd have straight
Oh shit!
rolls.
I forgot to make you take bludgeoning damage last time,
It's up to you.
and then this time you're taking bludgeoning too. So, sorry, 1 second. 11, no, 12, and 14.
Total or 11 and 14?
11 and 14.
Is it 25?
Mm-hmm.
I'm down.
Okay.
That would have actually changed what I did last time.
Okay, so then
But
why don't we take
that's
out
okay.
why don't we take out the last thing? You take out the 14.
Alright, never mind then. I've got.
Unfortunately, you're going to take damage again at the start of your turn.
Unless I dispel this right now. That's what I'm trying to. I'm trying to decide whether or not I'm going to heal myself or I'm going to try to dispel magic. Which, I'm assuming this is over a 3rd level spell, yes?
Yes.
Alright. I believe in you.
What are you doing?
I'm going to dispel magic.
Okay.
Maybe.
You could upcast it.
That
I
should
can
be.
upcast it.
That should be fine with your
probably
spell
should-
attack. You should be
Oh.
fine.
Yeah,
That's an 18.
Oh
that-
yeah, then you dispel it.
cool. Onion straight. Oh, bam. Bye.
How you doing,
See ya. She's just kind of like panting very light and kind of like glares at you a little. Actually, she doesn't. She just gives you a thumbs up. It's actually more her style. She would not glare at you at all. She'd be like, "You got
You're
this."
slipping into ash.
Yes, I know. I'm also still trying to figure out her attitude. Like, she doesn't get annoyed very easily. She gets annoyed a lot less easily than I would.
Taratha, what do you do?
So I don't know where this fucking dude is at all.
Nope.
You know he's in this general area because you saw him move.
You also know your
this hallway
allies
to
are
this
very
way.
fucked right now.
Yeah, I know. Well, I had an idea, but I don't know where he's at. I don't want to be flying off looking for God knows what and who knows where. Okay. This would be a good fireball time. But I'm not gonna do it! Because that would be bad news bears.
You could do it right here and just hit these two and not hit.
Where?
If you do it like right there.
Just remember, fireballs it sets things on fire that are
Oh
flammable.
yeah, there's
Yeah.
anything on fire right now?
The desk?
Yeah, the desk.
Yeah,
Okay.
whatever.
But it's like a slow burn. It's more of like a bonfire at this point. Like there's a
Gotcha.
lot of stone in this particular area, so.
Yeah, I'll do fireball at that point so I don't hit.
Yeah.
Willow.
I will say though, a fireball will be bad in literally any other place, but right now you're just in like the kind of entryway.
Does the Minotaur has a disadvantage or
I think it auto
automatically
fails. It
the
auto
saving
fails.
throw?
Fist up also fails.
Can you
Just back
possibly
that way.
hit the other guy because he's incapacitated to fist up? Oh, you are hitting all.
Yeah.
Oh, you're hitting all three.
Wait, are you?
Yeah, that's what I.
No. You're
Yeah.
only hitting 2.
Because
That's
otherwise
what I-
you're
Couldn't
gonna
you,
get
in
one
theory,
of them.
couldn't he like land it like here and have like the radius
Yeah.
be because like I'm behind these guys, so in theory there is a
I'm
place.
worried about this one.
I think that as long as it's this
If you
far.
could work it out, I don't care.
It depends on how you do it. If you work on diagonals and I am exactly 20 feet from right here, and if you did it here, he would hit, or she would hit you.
I
If
mean,
you could work it, I'll take it. It's just I'm
alright.
not doing the math
20
on
foot
behalf
radius,
of y'all.
right? That's the 20-foot radius is the thing. Okay, so from here. Yeah, from right here, if you were to launch it,
Yeah.
it would not hit me or Willow because this would be a 40-foot cubed. It would hit either of us. Like
Yep.
otherwise, it wouldn't hit it from the thing.
Alright, I got this.
Yeah. So it's 20 foot. Yeah, definitely. It would definitely hit these guys because like you can see that it's curving into them, but
And
it's
then
a
what about-
curve.
and
So
what
like
about-
I'm like on the corner, right?
But
Yeah.
what about Tali?
Oh, definitely wouldn't hit Tali because
No.
it's even further from Tali. Like
There we
it
go.
ends right here, right?
Cool.
So,
Alright, so
So-
you got all of them, 2 auto fail. So
10,
just fist. Actually, they all take full damage.
22 damage.
Okay, 1 second.
why does the other one take full damage?
Because he failed.
Oh, okay, nice. Here's your thing back
Yeah,
by the way.
not up.
Thank you.
Sorry if I was being pedantic
No,
about
no.
the range.
No,
It's-
it's.
I think we sometimes have an assumption with anything with a radius where we think of it in terms of cubes instead
Minotaur
of
dies.
instead of circles, right? And so
Yeah.
Alright, fist up is still stunned. Willow, what do you do?
Is he, just for my sake, is he unstunned at the beginning or the end of his turn?
at the end of my turn,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
which is nice.
I know,
That-
like, it's such, like, I'm not, like, DM, like, I hate the fact that it's the end of the monk's turn because, like, you could just, like, ad nauseum stun them, so you could just have, like, I think it's a broken rule, but I'm not going to take that away.
it
from you 'cause
requires a
that's
resource though, so you
Yeah.
But you have,
right.
like, 20 of those.
It does.
I have
require-
10.
Oh, I thought you had 20, so then never
20
mind.
is level 20 when I have.
Okay, then never mind.
It's really good. They're really good at single targets.
And
Yeah.
my key points are obviously my most valuable resource.
Yep. No, I thought there was 20. I was
Um,
like, there's no way you're blowing through 20 of those.
So the first attack is a 26 to hit.
That will hit.
That'll be
That's not the only thing he
15.
spends those points on. Like that's
Yeah.
the other thing.
No, that.
You know.
Yep.
Like, if that was the only
15. How
thing-
hurt is it looking?
Bloodied.
All right,
I mean,
I'll
I think
attack
I
it
have
again.
Dex one right now, but it's a 5th level spell.
It's
Right.
cocked.
About resource management.
That's a natural 19.
That will hit.
That'll be 11 damage.
Okay.
How's he looking?
Not quite that store, but getting there.
Can I? Do
you
you allow me
summoned?
to do martial arts 1 punch and then do flurry of blows 2nd punch if it doesn't kill? Because flurry of blows is you get 2 bonus attacks, unarmed strikes at the end of your turn. The other one is so martial arts is 1. So like IDM when I have monks that they can do the first attack and then choose to add the second one for a key point.
Okay.
All right, so but I would always allow. It's up to you. You
No,
might.
I'll just do whatever you do.
All right, so that'll be a 19 to
That'll
hit. That'll
We
be
got our
10
groove
damage.
going.
Still up. barely.
I will spend a key point to do flurry of blows. That will be 26.
That'll hit.
That'll be 8.
How do you want to do it?
So she says huge, right? So like I imagine she like takes a leap, does a kick and then stab and then like a I don't know, like a twirl or a front flip and then another like kick in the top of the head and then stabs the sword right in the back. I know that that's not technically the order I rolled them in, but you know, like and then she pulls out the sword and drives it to the ground. And then I still have my movement.
Okay.
And so...
Technically, there are bodies just taking up
Yeah.
these spaces.
Yeah.
But in theory, I can step over the bodies, right?
Yeah. You can
You
climb
can move
50
through.
feet, so.
Yeah, you can move through dead enemy territory.
Hmm.
Alright, so my best bet here is to move up in the melee range onto this guy.
Yep.
Okay.
And he's gonna make 2 attacks at you.
All right.
2 slammy whammies. One's gonna slammy whammy into the ground, and so's the second, because that's a 6 and a 1 on the die.
Okay. I don't know what their bonuses are, but I have 23 AC, so.
Yeah, it's +7, so.
All right.
Not gonna do
So
much.
it would need to roll a 16 to hit,
Yep.
or just nat 20, whatever.
No, it's noticing that you specifically are not taking a lot of the the poison damage, so it's trying to
Trying to
swing.
slam a dam. Yep.
Yeah.
That's not an ability to get back on recharge, or that's just something they can do every turn is vomit.
They have
Jesus.
4 points that they could use.
Ah,
so
all right. Well, it's on my
across
turn. It
different
is
things.
the wizard or good old
Tally.
Baines.
I can't move over the desk, right? I have to go around.
We
It's
have
on
a
fire.
Network error. Let's see. It might be me.
We're still live technically, but I'll open it up on my
There we
my
go.
line.
Yeah, we're still live.
Okay.
That's just my computer.
I can't move over the desk, right? I have to move around it.
You could spend 5 feet of movement to get onto the top of the desk.
It's on fire.
Oh yeah, it is on fire. You don't want to move on the desk.
Sorry.
Okay. In that case, we'll just do some Toll the Dead.
Nice.
Dope. That's what I'm probably gonna be doing too.
Wisdom
Assuming
save.
It's wisdom, I believe.
It is.
It's not good at those. That's an unnatural one.
Then,
That's an unnatural one on a wisdom save. That's not that's a joy move.
Yeah, I know.
Alright. I'm so.
It's 8.
Oh, one's a 7. I thought it was a 1. I'm like,
Okay.
oh, that would have sucked.
Okay.
Well, do you have the bonus to your cantrips? Or no, you probably have the divine strike thing, probably from level 8.
What?
Clerics
Lost.
get either a bonus to the damage that their cantrips do, or a bonus to the damage that their melee attacks do.
Oh, it's melee.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
I didn't know which subclass, what
I
your
just
subclass gave.
couldn't get all the way over there. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, no.
What?
Why?
Just, that's more, and Kelly just a couple minutes ago pulled out the little thing and did a little, that's what a cone would look like right over us. So now I'm just thinking,
Yeah.
you just lined us up to get hit by something possibly. Maybe that'll help.
Taratha, what do you do?
Wisdom save.
Those
on
codes are 15.
fisticuffs.
Yeah.
It's a 13.
10 damage.
Okay. It takes it.
What ability do you use? Toll the Dead?
Mhm.
All right, nice.
Yep. It is Willow's turn.
I did
I'm
terrible
worried
damage.
about this wizard.
We'll get there.
Good.
How hurt is the guy in front of me looking?
Bloodied.
Bloodied? All
We've been
right.
rolling poorly on our throws.
I'll go ahead and I'll take some attacks against them.
At least we're doing. All 3 of us are doing damage now.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, you were.
positive.
I was like, wow,
Um,
this wasn't supposed to be as
20,
deadly.
Every single time you use entanglement.
26.
every time.
26.
26. Yeah, that hits.
You have to remember we don't have 8 people at this table like Friday Crew does.
So that'll be 16 damage.
Takes it.
All right, we'll take another strike.
Yep.
Oops, I'll take
don't have an
it.
entire
Okay,
crew
so
of
that's.
Dex monkeys
I said I'll take
Yeah.
it, and it's a 3, so that's my own damn fault.
Okay.
But no, 3 plus 11, so it's a 14.
That hits.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Like you have to roll a 1 or a 2 to miss.
Well,
all
I've
the
done it,
motherfuckers. I know.
so that'll be a 9.
Okay, it's still up.
How hurt?
Pretty hurt.
I'll do the same thing as last time,
Yeah.
where take an attack with a punch. That's gonna be a 13.
That will not hit.
All right, and then I'll take one. I might as well. Flurry blows. That'll be 25.
That'll hit.
That'll be 11.
All right, it is on death's door. and it is its turn.
Okay.
And pissed, it's going to let out. Let's just see if it'll hit Tali.
It's 30 foot.
Yup, it will get you.
Whatever, it's on.
For
Well, we have to make a con save, right?
yep,
18.
you save.
11.
You do not.
I'm
So
going
it
down.
is 16 poison
Yeah.
and 12 necrotic.
6 necrotic, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And Tali, death save.
Nope.
All right, Taratha.
What's
It
the
is
save?
on. Yep. 3.
It's gonna be 9 damage. And the way I like to imagine Toll the Dead is you just hear the bells. And I imagine when you die from Toll the Dead, they just get like so loud that literally the physical space changes because of the amount of sound you're hearing.
Nice. I dig it. And there is silence in the library, except the roar of the flames and the fumes just funneling up. Sort of like, you know, in your Lehman's Tiny Hut last night, except deadlier and taller.
Am I proficient in medicine? I am not.
Do
But
you have any potions of healing on your body?
I have medkits.
I'm gonna go use. I would know about these med kits, and I'm gonna go and try and stabilize our dear friend.
Okay.
I'm gonna go after the wizard then while they're doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Would I get advantage from the
In,
med kit?
in
Wait,
Willow's
no,
mind,
if
we
you
are
have a-
still in combat
yeah.
against a creature that is hostile towards us.
Yep.
So like,
Oh, we're
if-
still in
if-
combat?
I'm saying in Willow's
yeah.
mind, like maybe he's like off in some secret lair doing some secret stuff, but in Willow's mind, this guy's been shooting spells at us for a while,
Yeah.
and so I'm moving further in
Okay. So
cautiously,
yeah,
but
we'll stop you there for a second.
All
With
right.
medicine kits, you just use it as an action and they're stabilized.
Then I'll do that.
It's I think 3 charges per med kit.
That's 10.
10. Okay.
Cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll use that.
Sounds good. You are stable at 1 HP. You walk in, and it is a large reading room with bookshelves lined on either side. It's a tall.
can I see?
No,
I
actually.
light a torch as I'm moving.
Okay. So at this point, 20 feet, I would say you're able to see, or is it
It's 2020, I think.
2020? Okay. So you're able to see just barely the opposite side of the room. You see bookcases lining this side and reading tables to your left.
I'm gonna try to find the wizard cautiously. I have 50 feet of movement. I'm gonna use my action to continually take the dodge action
Okay.
as I'm moving. So like cautiously enough that I could react to anything that hits me.
Okay. Give me an investigation check.
10.
You walk through and you can confidently say, as you're investigating this side, that there's no one there on this half of the room.
I'll go to
Let's
this
just
half.
pause for
Yeah.
your colleagues. What are you doing?
Sure will, you.
I thought we almost lost you there.
Nah, it's alright.
Are you gonna go into the other room or?
Actually, okay. So, question.
Okay.
On that dude, was there like holding a staff or anything?
The drow?
Yeah.
On
On the mini it did, so I'm curious.
It did not.
Was it wearing a robe?
No.
Was it wearing anything?
It was wearing. Actually, you would know they had mage armor on. So.
Okay, well I'm asking for
But
like
they
an
were-
actual physical object.
Oh, okay. It's not wearing like wizard robes, but it was wearing kind of like robe-ish type things.
Okay, so so I would know what
yeah.
it is. I'm gonna locate object.
Okay. What's the range? 500 feet?
That was alright.
I believe it's 1,000.
Okay.
Let me get the specific wording on it. Yep. Name. Describe or name an object, and because it's familiar, it's going to be very specific. You sense the direction of the object's location. As long as the object is within 1,000 feet of you. If the object is in motion, you know the direction of its movement.
Okay. You cast that, and you are able to tell that it is underground, like below you. And it is just moving further underground. Like, you could tell just kind of like based on it, it's just one floor below you at this point, but you could tell that it is going further down into the library.
I
at this
turn
moment.
to Tully. Tully, do you want to take a trip with me? Sure. Is it within 500 feet?
We can't leave our friend up here.
We can leave a note.
Just do it. If that's what your character would do, just do it.
I don't know if my character would do that.
That's why I asked if you want to take a trip with me.
You can tell.
This would be after Mass Cure Wounds, by the way.
You can tell that Willow is searching right now with a torch. She's fine.
Yeah.
She,
She's not though. She got severely injured.
Mhm. Yeah, roll your. Figure that out
yes,
first.
I'm coming with you.
Okay, we're gonna dimension door right in front of the drow.
Sure. You, can we flop this,
Yeah. Oh, God, I don't know what's going to happen.
we need everything off the map.
Yep. Oh, cool.
Where'd I put them?
Oh, for a moment I thought it said boars. I'm like, what?
No. Books. You appear right in front of this dude.
Do you need these?
And the moment I see him, I have something exactly planned.
Okay, pause. I will say, how far in front of him?
We're gonna be like right in front of him, and the moment I see him, I'm going to do something.
Okay.
So if you wanted to like describe something, but like
Yep.
the moment we're gonna pop and I'm gonna do something.
Well,
Yep.
I mean,
What?
but the question is, do you get your turn right after?
You
right?
don't.
Well, I imagine it would be like, are we out of combat?
No.
Okay.
no. I mean, I feel
Okay.
like there's a surprise round
Yeah.
potential there.
Yeah.
I feel like
I feel like
that's-
there could be a surprise.
That's my
round.
argument.
But
yes.
you could if Tally rolls a
I just
higher
want to see
initiative.
what this creature's,
It's cool.
I want to see if they are able to not be surprised.
Oh yeah,
the-
that's fair. That's fair.
that's my main thing.
Yep.
Are they a barbarian? Do they have the alert feat?
Are they just special?
Obviously creatures have all sorts of special rules baked into them, right?
Yep. Okay, so neither of these are immune to like surprise rounds.
Okay.
So you notice, 1 second.
I got a 21 for my
Okay, we'll get there.
Inish. Or we're using Old Inish, because that's also
You see this next to him.
what the fuck is that?
I'm not letting you see it, Eric,
Okay.
because
Oh, I'm not
you're
there.
not there.
I'm not there. That's
Okay.
fine.
that is
I don't know what
fuck
that
is
is.
Yep.
I think I know what it is because you won't
Because
let
I
me
know.
see it.
I
That's so
know.
funny. It's
You know
a
what
creature they faced in our campaign. So like if I
Yeah.
saw the picture, I would know what it is, right?
Yeah.
But the ironic thing is that
You
because
already
you won't show it to me, I know what it is.
Yeah. Give me 1 second. Let me just get initiative for them.
No way. I don't really
Nice.
metagame like that, Like
I know, but it's more of a. I was hoping for just like some level of
Are we keeping old initiative?
No.
Okay. 19.
Cool. So this wizard guy,
What was your? I forgot.
21.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Okay.
go wash my hands because it's flu season and throw
It's
away
fair.
this,
It's fair.
and then I'm going to be right back. But I assume I'm just searching for a way down. That's all.
So is this like an undead construct or like?
Well, I'm gonna say like that's just what you see.
Yeah.
Like so, if you want to spend your action to determine more about
Yeah.
it,
Not doing
yeah.
that.
But you are in a dark room. You have dark vision.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just
Okay. You can see like more books and tables and stuff like that. Over here, there's a lot less dead things here. There's still some dead things, but you can tell that like, the first room was like the low-level fighters that died real quick, and then over here are the ones that made it a little bit further, but then died anyway. And you can see just you're in one room, and the other room behind looks similar. All right,
Okay.
what do you do?
So I am attacking him.
Okay.
And then, well, okay, hold on. I'm sorry.
How are you attacking him?
I was gonna use the Reaper. If they're immune to necrotic damage, it doesn't actually matter. They take it all.
Okay.
I need this to load. Load.
What's the thing you're...
I was gonna do Vampiric Touch instead because it'll heal me.
Fuck yeah.
Alright. 3rd
Third
level, 3d6 necrotic damage. So make a melee spell attack.
So it's actually cast at 5th level.
Okay.
Just for fun, like because of the way that the Death Cleric works.
Yep. You have to roll to hit first.
Oh, do I? Okay, so can I use my attack roll from when I thought I was attacking with a melee weapon? Or do you want me to re-roll? Because I rolled a 20.
Okay, then just do it. But
dirty 20.
But I would rather you know what you're doing and then make the roll after you know what you're doing.
Yeah. Well, it was yeah. I knew what I was gonna do and then I changed my mind. I'm sorry. 6, 7, and I'm gonna use my fucking what the fuck is it called? My domain thing, which is gonna add another 20 damage to that.
All right.
And I take half of that back to me.
Okay. Taratha, what do you do?
I don't know if this is gonna work or not, but because I'm being spicy, I'm gonna look at the drow in its eyes and say, "You will defend us from any and all harm." I'm casting Gaius.
Oh shit! I think
yes.
Sure.
It's a wisdom save.
It's
Advantage
so hot.
against being charmed, but that's about it. It just has advantage.
Yep.
Double 15s. What kind of save?
Wisdom.
That may not do it.
I'm also, depending on what it is, I'm probably gonna reduce it. So let me know what that number is.
That's actually a 16.
That
Just-
outright fails.
Yeah, I know.
So
it
we
does
have-
not have. Yeah, no, that does it.
And yeah, now we have an ally for 30 days.
What spell do you cast?
Gaius.
Gaius.
Or Gias, or however it's pronounced.
Yep.
Is that concentration though?
Mm-mm.
No.
Okay.
It's a big spell slot though.
It's well, yeah, but I mean, a
Yeah.
big spell slot you get to do twice a day.
I mean, they can automatically, like, they don't have to follow my action, but then
Yeah.
they take 5d10 damage
Yep.
every day for 30 days.
Yep. Then end of surprise round. Tali, you're up.
So if I attack him, then does it matter?
No, it doesn't. I mean, you can attack this thing. Like, we don't know what... You can ask him if he's gonna obey. I mean, that's...
Nah. I just assume that your shit works when you do that shit. that's how she...
So what was the service that you asked it to do?
It will defend us from any and all harm.
All right.
It must defend us from any and all harm.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm sorry, yo. I'm gonna delay.
What?
All right. I just think it's worth noting because
Yeah.
this seems like a high-level caster that remove curse, greater resto,
Yep.
Oh,
and
yeah.
wish will remove it. Right? I don't know. Maybe you
Yeah.
guys covered that. Sorry, when I was gone.
It can also be counterspelled. And, yeah, it's
But I'm saying because it's surprised, it couldn't do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cast Guardian of Faith.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice.
So that
Because-
like creates like an angel or whatever, right? That,
Mhm.
that
Yep.
like will sit there
So
and
we'll
just wail
resolve that
this.
on its turn.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm also gonna do this. So I'm within 30 feet, so he has to move to get
So
to
this
me.
thing...
Oh, but then that it's friendly to you, so never mind.
Well, it's...
Or actually,
It can attack. It would just take 5d10 damage.
You, the bone claw, however.
Was I within range? Because I was right
It
here.
has reach
Reach?
of 15 feet. You learn, but it misses, because that
Great.
is a 13.
Great. Cool.
But you learn
Good.
that it can.
Well, yeah. Okay. Noted.
Yep.
Because I am still
Kelly,
not great
while
on
I'm
health.
searching the library,
Yeah.
can I
Yeah, I'm gonna
spend 2
resolve.
key points to do a heal on
Yeah.
myself?
Absolutely.
All right. It's like taking a deep breath. It's one of the things in the expanded class
Yeah.
features.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is the situation? Is this like a high ceiling room, or what's going on here?
It's about 15, 20 feet high.
15, 20 feet high.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Alright.
give me another investigation for the other side of the room.
Okay. On the bone claw, I'm going
16.
to cast Levitate.
Okay.
Constitution saving throw.
Nope.
Yep, and it's going to float up 20 feet.
Okay.
Or if it's 15, then 15 feet.
Nice. Yep. It just donks its head on the thing. On this.
And then I'm going to move back. We'll fly over here. Reaches 10 feet, right?
15.
But I already used its reaction.
Yep. So
yeah, I was just thinking in terms of like, would it be able to reach you if? But no.
Then I say to our new friend, like, would you mind calling him off so we can continue our business?
Well, it is the Bone Claw's turn first. And you just watch a swirl of shadows explode around him.
Yeah.
And he disappears. Literally disappears at that point.
Nice.
Cough, make sure that you read the rules about how it hurts things next to it.
and within 5 feet though.
Wasn't this guy within 5 feet?
No, 20
No.
feet. Because he levitated.
He's levitated up. You're right,
Yeah.
you're right. Okay, sorry.
No, I know. I was so
think
excited,
the
and then they
clock
both moved. But anyway,
That's sad.
yeah. And then the drow will turn, and then he'll turn back. Do any of you speak Undercommon?
Yes.
I
That's incredible.
I comprehend languages. So
Okay.
yeah.
It's one of those few times where I'm like, what? It came in handy. Yay.
And then he goes, he's gone.
Cool.
So, who might you be?
I have a name for him. But I didn't write it on here. 1 second. It's over here. 1 second. I am Norsgard.
Norsgard. Pleasure.
Why are all of your people named Nor?
Norsgard. I didn't name Nor.
Yeah, Nor was right. Nor
All
was
the
my
undead
character.
people have Nor in their name.
Well, I used Nor from Eric naming his the NPC Nor.
Gotcha.
So, Norsgard.
Based off of a character from a 1987 Hong Kong film
That's beautiful.
that has never actually been released in America.
We've been sent here by the city to rid this place of. I think they specifically mentioned ghosts, but I'm imagining they.
I mean, all threats.
All threats, but did they say
And we're
specifically
pausing.
ghosts?
You find, but at this moment, there's a portrait at the back of the room that you were in, and you could tell that it's a little shifted. Like when it's straight, it's fine, but you notice a little like dust trail if you just.
Oh yeah, I'll do that.
And then you open up and you appear in this little room, right here.
Is there anything in the room? Or what's in the room?
In
what do
the
you mean by
room.
appear? You mean like there's a doorway into
There's
this
a doorway,
room? Okay,
sorry.
okay. Sorry. Appear.
just-
You like you touch the painting and you teleport into this room. Like Kelly and her
I know.
descriptions of the way space works today
know.
has been a little,
I'm just
overly magical.
So you appear in this room with 3 gems on a pedestal and 3 tortured faces carved into the wall.
Oh.
And then a small little door, like halfling sized.
So I don't think I can fit through the door.
Yep.
All right, I'll go and look at the gems.
Mhm.
What are they, like different colors?
Yep. There is 1 red, 1 blue, 1 yellow.
Can they be manipulated, or are they just like fixed in?
They appear to just be laying on top of the thing.
And what about the tortured faces? What do they look like?
They look like they are have little places like on the tongues are just like little places for gems to be put.
Well, I'll have to go get my friends, so I will say, I'll like start walking back and yell, "It looks like I found something."
And then no one responds, but we'll get back to that. So you are, what'd you ask the...
They said they think they're ghosts, but they didn't actually
Right.
know.
So, what's your business here?
I'm gonna cast Sending while they
Yeah.
talk.
Good. So the drow goes, let me pull up my DM notes. We guard this library for Bahal.
For Bahal. Who would I know who Bahal is?
You could do a religion check.
That's gonna be pretty good. A natural 20.
An evil god.
The evil god. He's the god of torture. That's why I did that. What's Bahal's interest in this library?
Well, it's his.
Oh.
Dimension door.
I'll try. I wasn't expecting to have to talk with this guy, so I'm gonna
To
just try and.
necromancer.
I'll work out a voice.
Yeah.
It's his.
Is why would he construct?
Underground.
I don't know. The god of torture would be interested in reading and.
He needs his followers
Necromancer
to know
Is
the
geese.
best methods to know.
I'll assume you
Magics
use a word
of
that
torture
that we
to
would
know
that a
his
good word
path, to know
continue.
his history.
These are all like
His.
periods.
Yeah.
Well, I want to make.
Like stop.
I want you to know that the city is very much aware of the existence of this place.
I know. We kill you in droves.
Right.
Gonna come
Except
back
now,
soon.
unfortunately. So I think maybe we should work out an agreement. So
Which is
that
probably
this
as
little-
He
you're,
just starts
coming out the
laughing in the
shower.
middle, and he goes, "I am but a peasant to what is before you.
What is before me
Even worse, lords of death
in this place, or just like general
in this place.
in this place? About where? You point us in the direction.
Further down."
Gotta get our friend first.
Well, yeah, that's why we're just sitting here talking. We're not gonna go right now. I mean, that was in character.
Yeah.
We're not gonna go right now.
Yeah, well, she's just double checking that you know that.
So we're at an impasse. A nice little impasse. This is Willow on her way.
Did you respond?
Oh, yeah, I have to respond. Getting down a little tricky. Wait for you up here.
No. We have to go back.
Okay. Okay, noise guard. What is it? You do know they're gonna keep coming, and they're gonna once they find out.
And they will keep dying.
Right now, they've been sending more or less fools, and they're. You think that your god can withstand the might of Vara,
I don't think I know.
and yet they've been. Then why have they been restrained to this old library?
Ooh, we could watch Baal and Saturn just like duke it out.
Yeah, you want to get Saturn on the line? They might be interested in this knowledge.
Maybe I could try.
You want to try?
Can try.
Should I do? I don't know. Should I do it now or should I do it where I'm more need?
I don't know. I think it's narratively fun right now, but it's literally up to you.
You could pray and just do a religion check.
Yeah, I suppose.
And what are you trying to do? Sorry, I just saw that roll.
I mean, she doesn't even have religion because she doesn't give a shit. So the thing is, she doesn't give a shit. Like, that's her whole bit, is she does not care. So it's going to be a 9, but, I don't know, just relay. Like, Baal, Saturn, duke out. Bet you can't beat him.
Oh my god, you get absolutely no response.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think that you even tried hard enough to make a connection. Like, you were just too busy, like... Yeah?
Willow will continue looking for stairs down.
Okay.
Just when she was
Yep.
contacted by Bane, she did not know.
Yep.
She had not found stairs down yet.
Just do a investigation check while this is going, and then, what?
17.
This is a lot of literature just for torture methods. What else is being kept down here?
I mean, Bahal's history is quite extensive.
Would you like to care to share? Give us an abridged version.
I mean, not really.
So, I mean, this is the other question. Do we care enough to take on this asshole right now? Like, I feel like this is not worth the favor. Like,
Oh no!
some ghosts, cool.
No, like
Oh, God,
this doesn't
nah.
really concern. I'm just fascinated now.
No, I know. I'm just saying. Like, do we have to stay? Because I don't know. Maybe we just shouldn't.
You are able to tell that any way down has been, like, that's not the way that you found, has been covered in sand. So,
Covered in what?
sand.
Okay.
so the only way down further is through the gems that you found.
All right, I'll return to that room and start studying to see if I can understand the relationship between the gems and the faces.
Okay, give me an Arcana check.
I'm just curious, just a little abridged
13.
history.
Oh, and you just went, no.
That's fine. That's fine.
Therefore, unless you intend to follow Bahal.
I mean, I don't know anything about him. That's why I'm asking. It's a very simple
you should-
exchange. I'm not going to submit to a god just based on his name and his rather dusty library. Maybe if it was a bit cleaner, you might get more followers.
He'll pull out a book from the shelf, and it's Ye Old Abridged History of Bahal, but it's written in super old. I mean, you'll have to comprehend languages.
I have automatic comprehend languages.
Yep.
Do I glean anything from it?
Give me an intelligence check.
That's gonna be just check 24.
Okay. I mean, you're just thumbing through, like, looking at, like, kind of, like, the chapter headers and the little, like, bolded texts before it. And you could tell that he's got a long history of, like, kind of trying to kill other angels, trying to kill other gods. Not necessarily successful at the latter of the two. He had a vested interest in this place long ago because there was a lot of magic to be harvested that he believed the energy could be used to, further his own purposes. He is like the patron of assassins and people who just like to murder for fun.
Right.
So that's what you get, and you could tell, like, this isn't like even like it's just a straight up history of him and sort of like the Bahal 101. It's not necessarily his teachings or any sort of like knowledge into the magics that he's able to provide.
Gotcha.
But
well, can I get the 201?
And he goes, well, that is for followers only.
Fair.
And pause. What was your Arcana check?
13.
You can tell that these are magical and semi-cursed. Not cursed in a way that you will take damage, but you will be affected until you're able to figure out how to put these gems in a way that they're meant to be.
Once I touch them.
Yes.
Do these faces?
Oh
anything?
yeah,
Is
you've
this
done
the
this.
same puzzle?
Yes, I
Okay.
forgot that
Does
you
this
were there,
remind
but
me
I
of
love this
anything
puzzle too much.
historical? Is there any history drawn upon? Like, are these masks? Are these masks like like faces of some historical significance? Are these gems anything like that?
Do a religion check.
Religion, but I have a proficiency in history. 11.
Yeah, I mean, you've gotten a bad vibe this whole time, but you can't really put two and two together.
Yep, not fucking with this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go start a short rest after trying to put out the fire or whatever.
I mean, I think it'll just burn itself out.
All right.
Like, you keep an eye on it, and you're like, all right, I don't have to worry about this. It's
I'll
gonna
make
do
sure
its
that
thing.
the zombies are really dead, and then I will sit down in the foyer. That's like the nicer part that wasn't all burned, and I will take a short rest, or at least the start of a short rest until something changes.
Do you have a bag of holding, perchance?
What?
This is asking this necromancer. Do you have a bag of holding,
No.
perchance?
No.
Sad.
Do you have one nearby?
No.
Can you make one?
No.
What can you do?
Well, I was able to get you pretty bad with my tentacles.
Yeah, that was quite nasty.
It
Can you
was.
teach me that, by the way?
It was actually rather boring, is what it was.
That's
pull out
fine.
my spell
I
book.
had something. I had something. He has to protect you, not necessarily teach you things.
No, I'm just like, I just very rarely get opportunities as this is a wizard. Like,
Yeah. And he goes, well, I had something a lot spicier that your friend stopped.
Well, yeah, because you're less than us.
I mean, we are all less than Bahal.
No, we're not. You are less than Baal. But
And so
Saturn
are
is
you.
actually better than Baal. She is, like, convinced of this.
so Bahal came here in search of magic, as many people do, especially during the days when magic was definitely more of a sacred resource. What was his plan? Just to sow chaos, to wage war on the gods?
Thereabouts, yes.
Thereabouts.
And when
failed.
in a city that loves to just toss its followers, the underbelly of the society, out into the desert, well, it's very easy to come by people that are willing to follow Bahal.
I can imagine.
Well, and he looks around and he goes, yeah, you might want to leave soon if you don't want to go a little crazy.
I will. I do have a couple more questions that I'm just dying to know.
Purity of mind.
Does
baby.
Bahal have...
Right?
I can just end conditions that affect me mentally with an action.
Nice.
Monks.
Does Bahal have any connections to the Nine Hells?
DM does not know. Why is my battery running low? You've barely been used today. 1 second. I'm gonna say yes.
Okay.
Just DM decision. Let's see. We got 10 minutes left, so I don't
Really?
I mean,
know,
before
time is flying.
Damn.
10 minutes before, I don't need stat blocks. Please don't make me need stat
No,
blocks.
we're not. No.
So
I
I'm just
attack the desk.
No.
Yeah. Continue.
Yep. Yes.
With whom?
Know that this exists
Well,
as legally documented.
This information is
Considers
not
legal.
necessary for your protection, friend.
That's true, but I have a very vested interest in the Nine Hells, and
And then expanded spells.
Sorry.
particularly,
I just love making rolls as a DM.
This is,
I'm thinking
Here,
we.
I'll
I don't know.
I'll send you the link.
There's some shared information we might be able to gain. This is where I remove my ring and reveal,
Oh, nice.
reveal my true
I
form.
dig it. Has Tali seen it? Or?
Yeah, Tali definitely has seen
Okay,
it. This
yeah.
is not like new to her. So.
It's basically
Wow.
like adds like a lot
What
of
are you doing
some things that were in
following the likes of these
3.5
around?
to the classes.
Saturn. Saturn is playing with.
Taratha is in tiefling form right now.
Oh, cool.
Hmm.
What about Saturn though?
My friend here has a very special relationship with Saturn, and Saturn is very invested in keeping the order of things, and I'm very much invested in breaking that order.
Well then, friend, you've come to the wrong place.
In
Because
what
there's
way?
because Bahal is order.
Oh, his order. Is he trying to institute his own order or restore order?
His own.
His own. And that involves. Oh. That still goes against the plan. I could be interested.
You.
Are you trying to deceive him?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you want me to roll a deception? Okay.
That was in character, by the way.
That's
Yeah.
gonna be a 12.
I mean, his insight.
Okay.
Is a 5.
Anyway, so yeah, he will lead you into the further into the library, in a very friendly manner, which is good because you see another bone claw just kind of chilling back behind, who's just like kind of emerging from here and like looks and it like starts like to raise its claw and the drow's like, and like seeing you as you are right now, like it assumes that you were just like a newcomer.
When they're not attacking us, they're actually kind of cute.
Christ. And he will go,
Like a tall whippet.
if you say so. Well, and he will point you over to one of the bookshelves, and it's kind of like an extended history. And he goes, to learn his ways, you must learn his history first.
Do you mind if I take this with me?
I do.
You do mind. Well, then I will go through a quick read then. Like scan the table of contents, go through like first paragraph.
How long are you doing this?
Honestly, as long as Tali will let me.
How long does
They're
Tali-
taking a short rest, so that's at least half an hour. So I'm imagining if you guys are talking through sending.
Well, we only talked once through sending.
Yep.
Yeah. How long would Tali let me sit there and read this?
I don't know. She's just kind of happy to hang out. She doesn't
Okay.
actually give a shit. So, as long as like this dude isn't trying to murk us.
So I imagine with this like special collections, I go to a table and like set it down and I put on my gloves.
We're doing a fucking short rest though.
Yeah. Could this count as like a short rest as I'm like studying this?
Sure, but I need wisdom checks from all of you. I mean, you will
Dope.
I have
If you fail,
wisdom
you
saving
can-
throw or check.
check.
Wisdom check? Oh shit.
I give you the furrowed brow
Uh-huh.
of I have advantage on wisdom saving throws, but not wisdom
19.
checks against
Okay.
negative things, which should be saving throws.
Right?
Yeah, but it's not
a
like a
16.
targeted or a spell or anything. It's like, you know, you do con checks to
16.
Okay. And you?
24.
Okay. You're all fine. But I mean, when we're in the desert, you're making us do desert checks, not desert saving throws.
No, you're fine.
So-
I'm mostly just joking around. It's just if it's something that mentally affects a Kalistar, you know, they have like the two minds thing, so they're supposed to be like really immune to that kind of thing.
Yep.
But it's okay.
What's going on?
We're at the table.
Yep.
In special collectioning. We're in the archives.
Christ. Yeah. So you, I mean, it's just a long history. And they start you at like the ancient part, the creation of. And the thing is, I'm not sure if you've had access to these texts before necessarily. So it's actually pretty enlightening. It's in a way that's very clearly biased towards like promoting Bahal and kind of showing his victory. So there's definitely some histories that you're not learning, but there's also other histories that you are like
You're not on camera, Eric.
Oh.
if like you learn about the creation of the world, you learn about the creation of the material plane, you learn about how it's been like destroyed and rebuilt so many times, and like,
this is new information or just
I would say this is sort of new information for you, like because maybe not surprising, but kind of confirming some like thoughts that you have, especially since like you have been like perplexed by this whole being pushed off path.
Yep.
So it's helping you kind of question what is this just another one of those things? Is this something that's actually meant to happen and it's off kilter because of the gods, but it's also off, like the gods intended for it to be off kilter, so like it's kind of opening those sorts of questions for you. And it's mostly focused on kind of hell, not necessarily the material plane, but they do bring it up. They do talk about the celestial plane and also very heavily the astral plane. You would know that there's different beings that can go very easily across planes. I'm not sure if that's something that you would know before, but I guess since you have access to planar jump, don't you? Or
I would potentially. I don't know it.
Okay.
Do I learn this here?
No. No, this is history. So they're talking about it. You're not getting access like you have to do like rituals and sort of stuff. You're just getting the kind of like the historical sense, and then there's a whole initiation before you even have access to like the spells and things of that nature. And like after about like 15 minutes of reading, the drow will go, "Are you not going to join?"
Slightly tempted because I feel like Saturn would hate it, and that makes me feel good inside. But no, because I already don't want to be following one death god that I am, so why would I try and follow another one?
I mean, they're just kind of like getting a read on you, and what about your friend?
What about which one? What?
The other one.
The third one? Upstairs?
No
not
one can
interested.
help.
Probably not interested.
Well, we might have to dispose of her.
No.
I mean, I only have to protect you two.
You'll die in that case, which is up to you. Like, I'm fine with that. But
Christ.
like, she dies, you die.
If it would help, we would torture you in the process. Maybe that would be some, I don't know, death fulfillment, death wish.
That could be fun.
God.
Maybe that's part of the initiation ritual.
She's not good. I'm sorry, you guys.
Hmm?
I need to put that to neutral.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
she's serious. She's like, yeah, that'd be cool. Meaning she is not. She can't.
Let's
She
see what
was
we got.
not good.
And then
She's not evil, but she's not good.
he'll go, well, I mean that will complicate things, unfortunately. And from behind you, you see the bone claw just shadow jump again. And we'll leave that for
Leave
next week.
that there. Okay.
Yep. And,
It's fine.
you see a sudden swirl by you as you're finishing your long rest. You will, short rest.
Yeah.
You will
Luckily,
have
I
your
get-
short rest stuff.
Luckily, I get
But-
everything back from a
Yeah.
short rest.
But we'll
short
deal with
rest
that
classes, normally they don't matter because you only have one counter a day.
Yep.
Oh man, that was.
So, thoughts? Hmm?
I love PS so much.
Y'all,
It's good.
I had
Good
to,
smell.
like, come here super early to, like, draw all this stuff out. And I'm so glad that we got to, like, both levels.
Yeah.
Less glad that we'd have to swap back and
Yeah,
forth now.
I didn't want
Uh,
to switch the party. Split
Yeah.
the party. But I also really wanted to locate object, dimension door, gas.
Y'all,
I mean, at this point, like, Tali's just ready to peace.
Yeah.
She's like, if there's, like, deep shit here, like, there's only so much she's willing to do for the very small amount of pay she's
Oh,
getting
no.
at this
it's
point.
400 GP.
That's pretty.
That's substantial.
I think the problem is
That's
that
fair.
we
I
have.
forgot about that.
I think
Yeah.
the problem is that we have like a level 10 character mentality, but we're not supposed to.
No. I
Uh-huh.
forgot about the 400 GP.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In her head, she's like, I got a favor in doing this for Willa, who I care about, but it was known really for 3 days.
Y'all.
We've known each other.
Well, wait, but we like
Well,
we
not
like
caravan probably for
loyalty.
months or something, right? Like back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah, but you're right. So you're right. If you want to, you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
But I forgot. Leia forgot about 400 GP.
Y'all.
Oh, I
Tali
didn't
would
know.
not.
I didn't know how much there. I just said I was along for the ride.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm
Yeah.
like, that's why I'm down here. I'm just like, I'm just gonna get as much information as possible because it's like
Yeah.
this is my award.
Right.
Y'all. Yeah, no, I have like a what's it called? Like a habit of throwing libraries in campaigns, like to the point where like the
course.
first campaign that I did, they were just like, yeah, where's the library? Like they just knew that I would have a library and they would find stuff in the library, so they would just like rather than like talking to NPCs, they're like, yeah, I'm just gonna sit in the library and find some stuff about the history of the city and the history of this thing, and I'll ask the librarians for help with stuff, but they they were just library dwellers instead of
I mean, there's
Yeah.
a library in almost every campaign I make.
yeah. And
For sure.
spoiler alert, this is one of many libraries in
Yes.
VAR, because like I feel like this particular city state like is like very entrenched in the arcane and knowledge and the preservation of knowledge and archiving,
sure.
and it's like the wizard's dream.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, good class to choose for this one.
No, I love libraries, and I love that like we're in like a special collection section.
Yeah,
That one's really cool.
Yeah.
yeah, and you would have gotten this, but like my favorite thing about this particular library, it's like it's a very evil library, but its like entire purpose is to like just to preserve like just kind of recruitment in a way, rather than just like this is a general knowledge library.
Yeah.
You could find a little bit of everything, but like this is like if you want the be all end all of this god, this is the place, which I find fun. But yeah.
That's gonna be fun to resolve next week.
Yep. Yeah, we'll deal with that. It's funny how like I'll try and set up encounters where like I can make it challenging with your abilities, but also make you be able to do things with your abilities.
Mhm.
Like it was a small enough thing where you could do fireball, and you were able it was a drop where you could use your monk ability to not take damage. Tali just got fucked. But
That's fine.
So
I
we
gotta
gotta-
use my 130 GP or
Yeah.
Have a
HP,
short rest.
Sure.
That means
and I did.
hashtag nice. But then also like in doing that, I also don't realize how deadly certain things can be. So like the wizard, I say wizard, he's a sorcerer, but the combo was meant to be you're in the pit, you have to deal with the pit, and then he just kind of like pieces out because like he's leaving you to be You luckily were able to have ways to get out or not have it whatsoever. But like his goal was to have they drop down, they're stuck in the pit, and they're also getting wailed on by 3 of these things. So that was kind of the setup of that encounter. But even still, with only one of you in the pit, it was pretty deadly.
No, I do say this to other people occasionally. Your campaigns are some of the deadliest I've been in. Like, your encounters. Which is not a bad thing.
Well, I try and model it after yours, which are...
Why?
Sorry. Because you make us think in our campaigns, and you use the terrain, so I was trying to do a lot of terrain stuff here.
No, the terrain stuff worked here. I think that overall, I think this encounter wasn't bad. I think it was just slightly unbalanced in terms of the numbers. Like, so like the actual like what happened and everything was really fun.
Yeah.
But it was like a little annoying to be at almost full HP, take a crit, which I know is a crit, but that's two like it's a creature that attacks twice a turn. If it lands 2 attacks, that's equivalent to a crit.
Not really, because we're doing the modified crit rolls where it's the max damage for one of them.
It's still pretty close, but I was dropped from like 64. I have 73 damage. So like in theory, if that thing hits, if one of those things just gets 2 lucky rolls and hits me twice, that's like enough to down me. And so that felt a little bad, like in the sense of like I felt like I have to dodge every single attack in order to stay up. But other than that, like so like the numbers I felt were like a little really against at least my character in particular of only being able to take like 1 or 2 hits and then being down.
But you also have a tremendously high AC.
Yes.
Which is like the hit you, it's either gonna have to be what, like
a 16
16 plus, or a crit, which is like rarely going to happen.
But they have 6 attacks a turn, and
like collectively.
Yeah, they collectively have 6 attacks a turn. So in theory, getting a 16 plus, that's about a 25% chance. So in theory, like I should be getting hit by if they're all attacking me about 1.5. If half of them are attacking me, I should be half the attacks are coming my way. Let's say, which is pretty reasonable with only 3 people. So I'm not saying bad encounter. I'm saying that it's hard for my character in those situations with that many attacks coming, like to like eventually something will hit, right? And when it does, it's hard for me from the numbers game to take more than like a few turns of like tanking this damage, which made it tough.
Well, right, and you do a relatively significant amount of damage, particularly between all of your hits, and you have offensive spells. But I was also like...
And I also was anticipating you stunning them, so like, there was also like, yes, they could potentially attack 6 times, but when you stun 1 or 2, well, now you've lowered it.
Yeah, but I can only like be stun monkey for like 3 turns of combat, and then I'm like out of stuns, right? So...
This is the second combat in a row where Tali is just incapacitated
I
for
know.
a great portion.
Yeah,
I know.
I mean...
You're a meat shield.
Yeah. I mean, she's a cleric,
Yeah.
so like in many ways, that's one of the things clerics can do.
Absolutely.
Is to just be the one like take the aggro, and like, and it's fine. It means that she gets to do none of her things, but that's okay. Like, she's got other things that she can do, but like she's not gonna stand directly next to the enemy when she has 9 HP left.
Yeah.
Like, and even not standing next to that, she was almost downed. Or she was down at one point. Yeah, she was down at one point.
Well, it's also like hard to literally drop into a counter 1 person at a time. To have like play like with line of sight. And thank God only one thing in that room was flammable. Otherwise, like I would be able. I could cast fireball, but I wouldn't. So the AOE damage would have gone down tremendously. Like I have offensive spells, but like not really. Only a couple. I'm more of a utility wizard that has offensive on the occasion.
All of us are pretty utility heavy, which is fine. Yeah. But it means that we don't do like the last set of characters we had were all like damage masters.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
like we all had pretty high AC. We all were damage masters. We were really
Like
great
30
at
to
dex,
50 damage a turn.
like per person.
Yeah.
Easy. And like this character can do that. Once or twice, whereas like it was significant damage every single turn, every single battle with the last set of people.
Yeah. Well, we're also playing with resources now, whereas previously we were not. Like rage is technically a resource, but like we weren't dealing with those problems at all. So yeah, we're like it's a very different approach, but also like like we wouldn't have been able to have this session without this approach. Like we couldn't like quickly just like command this guy to do this. That would not be something either our characters would probably do. I don't know. Maybe Ash and Franz would be like, yeah, let's just join. Fuck it. Or down here.
Christ.
No.
Yeah.
No. Mostly because that like Ash is on a redemption arc right now, really. Still. From when he was a mama's boy. Like he will be perpetually on a redemption arc. His life is extremely tragic. But that's fine.
Oh, the poor baby boy.
He is, yeah.
Mm.
And I don't have a redemption arc with Dolly. Dolly is not a redemption arc person. She's a fuck it.
Yep. And Carla's very just like, I have knowledge before me, and this is like I'm searching for something really specific. So if this can get me to that goal, then it can get me to that goal. And if it can't, then that 400 gold is meaningless to me.
Well, you learned some stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited to learn more stuff. Maybe, probably not, but maybe.
You're probably gonna have to kill some enemies to have some more time.
Oh, for sure. I mean, we could just death store out of here with the book. Bucket.
It's fine.
Don't get the DM any ideas.
No, I already planned for that. But yeah. What was I gonna say? Resource management.
Yep.
Let's talk about that.
It's I blew a 5th level spell slot. Like I'm gonna feel that. Like Arcane Recovery gives me back a little bit, but not much. Very long rest dependent. Div Wiz is nice because like with Mind Spikes, I get back earlier spell slots, so I can keep. I can I really wanted to. I could just rotate between Mind Spikes and Magic Missile just over and over and over and over and over.
Well, not forever though, right? You'll eventually run out.
Eventually, but like, if you're at 6 level spell slots and you just cast down, you get like 91 spells in a day. Some weird shit like that. It's insane. I'm not at that level, but yeah, down the road I will be. It's boring, but I can do it. Watch me. So yeah, that's it's gonna be fun. Next session, like I'll have 1 5th level, I have a couple 4th left, and then I got 3rd back.
I'm looking forward to Melee because that's where this character shines.
Yeah. I know.
Melee.
I'm sorry.
And, it's fine. Melee and healing.
Yeah.
Like
that healing came clutch though.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I didn't get out. So part of the reasons why I didn't get out of the shit earlier was because I had to, like, every time I was about to dispel magic, I was like, nah, gotta heal some peeps, otherwise the fucking wizard's gonna be on their own, everyone down.
Yeah.
And,
oh, shoot.
What?
Oh, nothing. I could have dispelled the thing. I totally forgot I have Dispel Magic on a stick. Literally, my sword can cast Dispel Magic once per day.
Oh my god.
All good.
It's fine. We know.
Yeah, now we know.
We have new characters.
I constantly forget about that.
It's okay.
I also am a fan of bypassing the puzzle, which was funny to me.
Yeah.
It's similar to what you did, but different. Different effects.
Okay.
But
Rachel, I have to jet. But this was fun.
I'll
talk to you all.
At a later date. Another fun thing, like just kind of bouncing around, like kind of inclusivity, and like disability in D&D.
Yeah.
On Friday, Tenzin, who was here, he was one of the characters that got wounded in the Friday crew. Instead of like it being like for now, it was we rolled and it was Tenzin, and he got his like throat just got slashed to pieces, so now he can't talk anymore. So now he's
not that he talked much at all.
Yeah. He's mute. Then there's the character Liam that you very briefly encountered in this one, but instead that party adopted him, but we left him here, and he was a mute warlock. So we had a guest staying at my house, and he joined us for D&D. And he's like, okay, so Tenzin's mute, Liam's mute, and then there's another kid and they're mute. I go, no, we just stopped at 2. Like, it was just funny how, like, they just assumed that every NPC was mute just because, like, 2 of them were. And then one time I was talking to him as Tomas to his character, and I was doing the Tomas kind of like slow thing, and he's just staring at me like, what are you doing? I was like, no, this is what he sounds like. So just kind of I don't know, like, I feel like, I mean, I'm always gonna push diversity in games, but I just feel like it's not sort of normalized yet in a way in a lot of campaigns, in the sense that, I mean, normalized, like, yes, Taz does it, yes, it's becoming more common. We have a blind character in your campaign, but I feel like a lot of players still aren't used to playing with people with disabilities in the campaign, but that might just be me.
We have a cripple in this one.
Yeah. Yep.
I've always wanted to play a character that has lost a hand or maybe more, and having to rely on Mage Hand.
Yep.
I always thought that'd be really fun.
I think that oh, sorry, were you done?
No, go for it.
I think that, like, one of the things that makes the disability thing maybe more enjoyable to play is you can kind of go one of 2 ways with it mechanically, right? Is you can either go like, yes, you are disabled and you have to, like, role play out what it feels like to not have a leg or not have a hand or to be blind or to be deaf, or whatever disability. But you also get to have the fantasy, right? Like, the fantasy of, like, yes, I'm blind, but there's, like, because of the way that, you know, this is fantasy, there are ways around blindness. There are ways around, I can have a metal leg. And I think that that's, like, a liberating thing, right? It's like, it's engaging the imaginatory faculties to, like, to kind of say, like, disability doesn't have to define a person, right?
Yeah.
Like, in a sense, and that, you know, and I know it's because of, like, magic and stuff, but, like, I think it's still in the imagination, it's, like, allows for that kind of, like, yeah, like, so when you see a disabled person, you don't have to define them by that. You know, there's ways that they can get around being disabled. Not saying that obviously someone who is disabled shouldn't be treated like they don't have a disability, but they also shouldn't be treated like they're incapable.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, like, I've seen a couple of, this was, like, way back, so, like, I would say, like, 2012, 2013-ish, when I was, like, pretty fresh into D&D, and people were like, well, of course, you're not going to see people with disabilities as an adventurer, because, like, they can't, like, if they're in a wheelchair, they can't go over rough terrain, and this, that, and the other thing, like, completely forgetting that, like, there's plenty of magic, and you can imbue magical things into it, and I just think that it's very liberating in a way to think of how magic can be an enabler rather than
Rather than just being a way you set things on fire or whatever, you know.
Yeah. But yeah, it was just something that it was funny to me because, like, the guy literally was, like, staring at me the whole time, like, just like, why are you talking like that, when I was Tomasing it. But and then he kept trying to do things like talking to Liam or to Tenzin. I was like, they don't respond back to you, like, they're not. And then he's like, oh yeah, and then Nick's character is also deaf, so, like, there's times where he leaves his familiar away, and we talk to him, and he's like, no, like, Rune can't hear you, his familiar is not here. So
Oh, I didn't know Rune was deaf.
he had his lizard on him the whole time, so
Man.
the day that you were there, at least. But
Yeah, so no, I think that it's a cool thing, and, like, yeah, it just allows I think it allows for more profound engagement with the fantasy of the world.
Agreed.
Right? And I think that that's a good thing.
It allows you to create a handy-capable world where access is easier or more achievable.
Yep.
Or where there's even greater injustice when someone is disabled and they don't have any things, right? Like, you see, like, a blind person in the street, it's like that, like, society has failed this person even more because a simple find familiar spell can kind of cure this person's ailment.
Right.
So, you know, there's a lot of narrative ins in that way.
And then just dropping back to today, I really enjoyed the talk about, like, magic laws in Vara, because I think there's another thing, like, I don't think that there's a lot in D&D that addresses the legalities of magic, because there's so many things.
Do not.
There's so many things that you can do with magic that are just like, this would not be allowed in a, like, civilized society.
No, and I mean, honestly, like, that's why I find this world fascinating, because it's a world that's trying to adjust to that in a lot of ways.
So they're much more apparent.
Yeah, and I mean, when we deal with like the repercussions of magic use, it's always on an individual level. Like, oh, they found out you were casting suggestion on them and it failed, or charm person, like it wore off or whatever. Like they became aware of it, and so like you deal with that immediate repercussion, but like larger repercussions.
Yeah.
Even going down, just go, oh, constable got you. You're in jail for the night. It's like larger systemic things, or I think there's definitely room for that in D&D. Like the fact, again, Gaius, it's a wicked spell. It's non-concentration, 30 days, verbal. Like that's raw, and that's insane. And like remove curse, I think is the lowest level spell you can cast to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Which is what.
But I mean, the other thing is, it'll kill most commoners. But I mean, like if they disobey you, like they take 5d10, and then they could just operate as they would still.
No, you can. You have that choice. It doesn't remove choice. But 5d10 is a healthy amount of damage, and it's 30 days.
Right.
So like
But if they long rest each time, like if you do that to like an adventurer, like it's kind of setting them back for a while. But I mean, with any commoner, like that's death.
That's death. Yeah. Well, and it's just like, it's torturous.
Yes.
For people who can withstand it and recover day by day. Because it's also psychic damage. It's like, you're fucking Guantanamo. Yeah. Like, it's a wickedly...
Yeah. It is worth noting, for our purposes, that Gaius and, like, some of our spells they're locked in a specific tier of magic, right?
Yeah.
And, and we are starting this campaign, or this new leg of the campaign, in a very different spot. And so like in the Dungeon Master's Guide, they give like the 4 tiers of play, right? You got 1 to 4 is like a local hero, right? Yep. So like if you're imagining what a local constable would have to deal with, it's anything that a 1 through 4 character can do, which is much more limited, right? That's definitely not a Gaius. And then you've got levels 5 to 10 are heroes of the realm, and we're at the very top end of that. And levels 11 to 16 are masters of the realm. So like once you get to like that 10-11 range, you are you are not just like some guy, right, casting Gaius. You are like somebody who would be considered like a master of magic, or a master of the martial arts, or a master of
like
religion.
Jackie Chan of magic.
Yeah, exactly. Like Jackie Chan's like a 10th level character, right? Even though like he's great, he's not like 20th level, like, right, is the masters of the world, right? So it's like, it's like somebody who is like in theory one of the most powerful people in the entire world. So like if you were like a level 10 or 11 person in IRL, right? That's like, in terms of maybe social power, that'd be like being like the president of like an African country, or Malaysia or something, like having like wielding significant power in terms of the way the world works.
Like you can affect change at the level of the world. Also, the way I look at it is like that's at the level where you can affect change.
Yeah. Like at level 10, I'm immune to poison, right? It's like I've somehow mastered my body so much that like
that came clutch today.
Yeah, it did help a lot.
Like I can sit here and I can comprehend all languages. I can decide to just always see invisible things. It's really not that. That's why I think like playing campaigns at a higher level is sometimes really nice, because it changes the way that you would create character. Because whereas I couldn't create Taratha as a level 1, it just wouldn't work narratively. This kind of mythic figure who's been living in the sands and has found a way to integrate into society, that just wouldn't work. Whereas Franz it did. And so that's liberating too, as I can reconceive how character creation can go, and like the possibilities of who my character can be in relation to the world. So they're not just some commoner who's decided one day to pick up a sword and go on an adventure and then immediately get killed by one goblin.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that I definitely did the same thing with this character, who like I'm able to say, like I'm able to create like a domestic life for them and everything, but also like be like, yeah, but they were adventurer 13, 14 years ago, and they reached this point, like a very high level, because of because of a variety of privileges that they had at the time. But then they kind of gave it all up, and so like they're now like a humble bookstore keeper in a sense, but they also have like this ability that they can tap into at any time.
Yeah. No, I think it's a lot of fun. It's tough though. Like, so here's the other thing. Like, I mean, yes, eventually it'd be cool to have like a level 20 campaign going, but like, it's like one of those. I feel like it's like the super. Either you watch Supernatural?
No.
Oh, okay. Or I mean, with any TV show, like where it peaks and like that's where it should end, but then they keep going. And I feel like level 20 is like where like that should be like the campaign ender in a way. And if you have a continued campaign as a level 20 character, it's very hard to have it like narratively engaging in certain ways.
Or even in terms of
Unless-
character progression.
Yeah, because you're at the top, so you're only getting thrown like gods and angels and
Yeah.
like
Mm-hmm.
so.
Yeah, in the quote tiers of play, like it notes that or like there's this guy who's talking about how like in most narratives we see, by the time someone has reached 11, they the hero might have come to terms with the family's death, met the old master, gotten his ass kicked for mistaking his abilities and wisdom, and resolved to better himself just physically. Like think of like Spider-Man, right? Like Spider-Man at the end of the first Spider-Man movie when he takes out his his nemesis is likely already like level 12. Like that's the story ender right there, right?
Yeah.
The end of Kill Bill.
Yeah, the end. Yeah,
Killing the old
exactly.
master.
Yeah.
And so I agree that it can be like I don't think you should like one thing that I've heard is like at least what I'm going to do in our campaigns probably is like 17, 18, 19, 20. Those 4 levels are probably going to be super condensed into just like a couple months because I don't think it's very engaging to like play at that level. But fortunately, I've set up our campaign where the big bad, so to speak, is like that you guys are actively trying to get to is like that range. So like in theory, you're going to be in this like kind of world conflict that is like slowly starting to build that you guys happen to find yourself dropped in the middle of. That will like you will resolve that in that. So I like that when I did this, I went right and at the camera. High five, audience. But anyways, go ahead, Corey.
Yeah, so like D&D does not do endgame. They just don't do endgame play. It's I know people have compared certain editions to like MMOs, but for me MMO is always about character progression at the end game. You've reached the level cap and you're working on a different progression system. D&D does not have that at all. Because otherwise, I mean, like, what do? You get to level 20, you have a wizard, just every day, like, oh, I'm going to cast Wish, cast Wish, cast Wish, cast Wish.
In theory, once Wish can, like, backfire. But
Wish.
yeah, the general idea, 9th level spell every day.
Or, you just, polymorph, power word kill, polymorph, power word kill, polymorph, power word kill. Like, you very quickly reach, like, what is the optimal end way to play ostensibly. So yeah, I agree. Like the last 4 levels, and that's what NADPOD's doing right now is they spend so long between like 13 and 16. Like that's where they really hit a block. So much so I think that one point is like, oh, I forgot to level you up, so you guys get 2 levels instead of 1 because it was so long. They were just trapped at 1 level. I think that 14 they were just stuck, and then we're gonna see very quickly because also the amount of things that you're doing. Is or able to do on a daily basis. And
the difference is so much less. Like the difference between like 4 and 5 is huge, right?
Yep.
But the difference between like especially once you get that 9th level spell slot, which I think is 17.
Yeah.
Like, is there really a significant difference at that point between a 20th and a 17th level spellcaster?
No.
Like in our campaign, you guys fought a Lich who's technically an 18th level spellcaster.
Yeah.
But for all intents and purposes, I could dip that down to or up it to, and it really wouldn't have affected, I think, the difficulty of the encounter.
Yeah, like 18 and 20th level wizard, you get spell mastery and signature spell, which are good. Like they're nice to have, but only because they can allow your character to keep progressing in longer levels of play, which is good. But yeah, once you get 9th level, you just go.
Yeah, I think like limitations lead to good storytelling, right?
Yes.
And so it's like it's a lot more fun to like. Have to try to figure out how to solve a problem when you have limited ways of solving it than it is to try to figure out how to solve a problem when you have Wish available to you, right?
And I also think, especially considering the characters that have a very repetitive action economy, rogues, fighters, arguably barbarians, where you're just kind of doing more and more the same thing, like finding more inventive solutions, especially in that end game where you've been doing like, how do I get sneak attack? Do I have sneak attack? Cool, I'm going to do that. If I don't have sneak attack or I miss, then I don't really do much of anything. Finding ways to break that up, especially in the end game, I think is really important as well.
Part of that's definitely magic items, like so that can like duplicate some aspects of spells, like winged boots, something you can like fly, like you get them at like level 15 or something.
My favorite thing now.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you convinced me out of saying no to that, because like I love those boots now.
Oh yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, you were like, I'll make a broom of flying. Like that would not have been nearly as I think like Anushka as the thing.
Not at all.
But yeah, so I think the end game hurts or is not or is difficult though in all circumstances. Like I mean, even look at the most recent like Avengers games, right? Or Avengers games, Avengers movies, right? Like in the first one, all the heroes are like split up because obviously you couldn't like realistically say Thanos could like beat all of the Avengers and all of the heroes of the MCU in a one-on or like one.
Oh, you're talking about Infinity. I thought you were talking about First Avengers.
I was thinking First Avengers too. I was like,
yeah.
I mean,
that was Loki City.
Yeah. So like
Loki.
Yeah. So like Avengers actually is a really good example of like that level 10 to 15 conflict, right? You're like you're in the city. There's like for instance for you guys, like what happened in Avengers is basically what happened in your guys' campaign, which was like. I mean, kind of like you guys were there.
But we were in the high enough level to stop.
You were
that.
level 5 or 6 at the time?
Yeah.
No, you were higher level than that. You've gained
at 7 at
2 or 3. I think you were at 7. I think 7, and now you're at 10, right? So, so these are like level 7, and like which would be like being like Hawkeye, right? Hawkeye is like level 7, and like but then like an army and like dragons attack the city, right? And so like. Your recourse is, well, we can't handle this. But you imagine, like, if you guys were, like, a group of, like, 5 or 6, like, level 14 characters, you're like, yes, we can destroy an entire army of, CR 1 to 3 characters, or, fighters and a couple of dragons. Like, suddenly, right? So, like, you can see how, like, that's the Avengers. But then, my whole point is, like, what's the one before?
Infinity War?
Infinity War, yeah. So, in Infinity War, like, they have to all be split up. And then they fight Thanos, and they like almost beat Thanos, right? And then ostensibly, like Chris Pratt is an idiot, and so it doesn't work out. We're Star-Lord, but
both him and the character.
But then and you get to the final end game. Jesus, why can't I remember these names right off the top of my head right now? End game, and like it's like. They knew that they couldn't just be like, yeah, let's just big bad, we'll kill Thanos, right, in one big confrontation. Even though that's kind of what happens at the very end. But even so, it's about the MacGuffin, right? It's about getting the thing so you can snap off Thanos' army and everything. It's not really about, like, beating Thanos one-on-one. Because that's not what's engaging or exciting, right? So, like, they had to convolutedly be like, we're going to do time traveling, and they're going to have to split up and go do their own other things. Because once you reach a certain power level, which is like being like level 20 characters, being level 20 Thor or level 20 Captain America or whatever, the narrative is boring if it's all of them against something, right? Like that's not an enjoyable conflict. They have to have other goals and other things to do.
And especially at that level, like they couldn't even face him at all. You needed a literal army, but also you couldn't do that unless you're a level 20 character.
Yeah,
selling everyone from the pits of.
And I think that even though players want to have the power fantasy, I think it's I legitimately think that it's probably more satisfying if it's like these wolves are terrorizing the town and you go take care of the wolves is just as if not more satisfying than like this this demigod is terrorizing the world, go defeat the demigod. Like you would like to imagine that saving the whole world is somehow more engaging from a narrative level, but it actually I think in a lot of ways it's not, because like in the wolf scenario, like it's easy to be like you're from this town, right? You know that guy who got killed by the wolves, right? You're like your family is in danger from this thing, or the barkeep that you really like is in danger of this thing, like and everyone's happy that you've solved the problem. And so like you can be able to more personalize it at the lower levels. With the higher levels, it's just like the world is in the balance, but what does the world mean to your characters in this in this only fantasy that's in our head?
Solid. And with that,
it's 5:02. Jeez.
I think we'll
sometimes when I dive into the conversation, I'm sorry if I go off a little bit too hard.
We did it.
We shall see you next week.
Next week with Bone Claw fights.
Yup.
Maybe, who knows?